Well, good evening and welcome to the Rocket League Finals here at the NECC. I am your host, Captain at Soka, but I am joined in the booth by one of the best in the business. All hail Monkey Moon.
Welcome.
Monkey
Thank you.
Man, I apologize.
It's all right. You know what? We're going to the moon regardless here, Captain
Let's
Soka.
go.
We get to go out there. We get to go into outer space. We get to see these guys come right back down to Earth and create some championships, because it's Championship Sunday here for the NECC Rocket League time. And I can't wait to do cast more Rocket League. It's been so long, Captain Atsuka, since we had this opportunity.
Yeah, it has been a little bit of a minute, but still, I have been pleasured enough to cast with all of the fine people here at the NECC. So it has not been time wasted, but at the same time, I have missed that beautiful red beard of yours, my friend.
Oh, man, you know, it only got bigger as the months went on, and it only got bigger here in the competition as we waited for all of this to get going. We have Johnson & Wales University versus Dalhousie. It is the wonderment of this grand final. We have a best of 7 on our hands, so you know what? Let's go ahead and get into it. You guys better be ready for it, because we are here in the booth.
And yes, we are here, and the ball finds its way back over to the side of Jaywoo. Now going back down towards the middle, and the touch coming through, but it will be deflected and cleared away back into Dalhousie territory. Now going up high and towards the side, Jaywoo going to be pushing things on offense, have an opportunity, but it's Perch Peach to clear this one back out and send this one back to the midfield.
Last time, the only time that these two schools met up, guess what? It was JWU that was able to get a Game 5 win over Dalhousie. We get to see if this one will turn around in a grand final that seems fated to occur. A big save by Pursills, but it's Locke that's trying to be able to lock this one into the offensive half. It falls into the stripes, and a big clear by Spoots as we go right along here. Opening minute of play, still goose egg apiece.
Oh yeah, everybody loves those big, gigantic goose eggs. That's how you can tell that we're getting some intense, equally matched gameplay here at the NECC. It's going to be a difficult time for both teams as they are struggling to find the bag in the net, and finally the shot will come through, but it will go down by the wayside.
More pressure, though, coming out of Johnson & Wales, and Locke will be able to get one touch. Jaro trying to be able to get even more, but it's very well craftedly challenged by Wi-Fi. Look for another bump opportunity. This one's gonna be a dish. Locke has taken up a lot of great defensive posture across these pipes and across the perimeter. That will be a one and done for this approach, and a big miss. It gets the man bumped of Perch Peach. We go right back into the offense. JW not letting go.
Absolutely not. And honestly, they've been having the majority of the aggression so far. They're doing a really good job at rotating at the midfield and holding the line, as we saw Purcell's nearly missed that opportunity there, as this one will bang out of the corner again. And then Perch Peach, of course, just playing some textbooks defense to clear that one out again. Still sitting with these two buttery bagels 0-0.
Oh, man. Can you toast them up, put a little extra jelly on them, make them taste so sweet? It's a war of attrition. Put all this pressure on. Got to watch out for the boost usage, because if you don't have the management, you're not going to survive this one. Locke will extend it. It goes over to Jaro. Great counterplay. That will be just off target. Found very quickly by Wi-Fi. Is his Wi-Fi strong enough? It is. And he's going to be able to get it all the way to the opposite end. A big demo onto Pursills. Wi-Fi also finds the graveyard. It's going to be a respawn. It's a foot race, and they find a save by Pursills.
Literally a resurrected player coming from beyond the junkyard to come back and get the last second save. What a play. And the return volley nearly finding the back of the net as well. And now the double touch is on and in for Spoots. And now finally we have our first goal of game number 1.
It just took a while. It took a little bit of extra focus, and it took a double tap to get it just beyond Perch Peach's reach. And now Spoots come out here. His name is Stoops, but he decided to go backwards, so he's just trying to trick us here in the booth, Captain. But you know what? We know who he is. We've been able to identify him. We got him. We got his name locked in.
You see, I'm a big, gigantic gigantic goober, so I'm going to fall for that every time. I am very easy to trick. Honestly, if I was on the field right now, they could honestly mind game me all day and it would work 100% of the time, but it will not work on JWoo. JWoo still holding on to the defense here as they are able to clear this one back out towards the mid, and now Jaro going up high, trying to get the waterfall touch, but does not succeed, as now Spoots once again taking this one up towards the side and will get a hundo boost. And now it is JWoo on the attack.
Stoops trying to be able to get another approach, and we've seen a lot of this from Johnson and Wales for the duration of this match. It really hasn't allowed Dalhousie a multitude or multiplier of opportunities. They've had to really work their way in, and Locke right now, he is the one that's been able to initiate so much of this contact, so much of these counters, and so much space. This is a bit of a timing. That sync is off as they can't find it as it drops off from over the crossbar and the backboard. That's a win by Persil's. Locke, you see him screaming from wall to wall, but he's able to find the ball and stop that one from being 2-0 lead. Sub 1 minute of play to go here in game one.
Oh, absolutely. And I love the demolitions that are coming out from JWoo. They are being so aggressive. And you know I'm a sucker for the physical play. So I love seeing it come out, and I love watching the fireworks pop off. With only 40 seconds left to go, JWoo could literally demo their way to victory, but they are on the defensive for the time being for the remaining 30 seconds.
Whew, that was a needed pop by Persil. He realized that an attacker was coming through, and this is good perimeter play. Everyone for the JWU, they're locked in, and they're making sure that these rotations are tight, especially when they're stuck on defense. But Dalhousie, they're screaming forward. They leave a wide open gap. It'll be a save by Jaru. They only have 10 seconds coming up to be able to get anything. That one will go to the opposite side zone, to the wall, to one another. Locke sets it up. Jaru knocks it down, and oh, it finds the front face of the crossbar, and a 0-second timer is up. Stoops leaves it, and that one will leave it for JWU. They take game one only up 1-0.
Yeah, I gotta say, the save of the game definitely came from that crossbar. By far the best defender in Rocket League. You love to see it when you're on the defense, but I gotta say, if you're on the side of Dalhousie, that one's gonna hurt.
Yeah, that one, you know that he's all of a couple of degrees away of being able to either bend that lower side of the crossbar and have it be a Bardowski, or exactly what we just saw. And so, unfortunate to be able to not get that one tied, but another big save to be remembered, Persil's, as he came back to life and was able to shoot across that goal line. What a defensive play, but we need to be able to see a lot more of that traded pressure from Dalhousie as they be able to get this one going with the JWU. Game number one, though, of our best of 7 for this grand final.
Absolutely, and it popped off in a major way, but I did not expect game number one to end 1-0. Let's see if it will replicate here in game number 2, as this floater nearly just falling down and in, but Perch Peach able to get back in time.
You now finally see a bit of extended pressure in the early minute from Dalhousie as Jaro sends it over to Persil's. A little bit of man-on-man. I want to see more of these bump plays if I can. I want to see a little bit more physicality to get them out of the way, because that's something that was definitely missing. We didn't have many just kind of pressure plays that was built onto going to the player. It was more around the zone, and that's a good cleanup play. That's a good extension, and it'll be a no save. That's going to be the first goal for Dalhousie, and it comes off a miss.
I mean, there we go. I mean, what else is there to say? We saw the shot coming from Locke. They were able to beat the defender up, was able to get the first touch on the aerial shot, and then it fell into the back of the net. I mean, granted that maybe woulda, coulda, shoulda been saved, but oh well. Dalhousie will go up 1-0 first here in game number 2, and I guarantee they are not going to be complaining on the side of Dalhousie.
Oh, no, not at all. You take what you can get in Rocket League. It's none of it is luck, but it all is definitely calculated. It just happens to be what part of science and physics you try to stay upon. Locke will turn away. That's a bouncer. Oh, they never expected, but it's Perch Pizza knew exactly where it would fall. That top 90, well defended, but AW, they'll be pressing in.
Yeah, JWoo doing a really good job at applying the pressure like they were in game number 1, but still, they're looking down 1-0, and very early. Keep in mind, in game number 1, it took them more than a half of regulatory play to find the back of the net, and now with this 1-0 deficit, JWoo is going to be looking to make somewhat of a comeback as we just hit 3 minutes and 30.
Yeah, whenever you have those early goals against you, that's a lot of extra time. You have plenty, especially with all this pressure. And 1-2, bang! There goes for Stoops. What a passing play from Wi-Fi. That's a great connection.
Oh, 100%. This was textbook right here. And not only that, but they were able to get the ball past not one, not two, but all three defenders to find the back of the net. And I got to say, that was just clear communication and nothing else. That was perfect.
This man's not on some Wi-Fi A, B, G, or N. He's on Wi-Fi 6, and which is a slick bit of quickness. Double commit. That's a follow-up by Jaro, but everyone's trying to be able to recoup and recover from Dalhousie. It's a breakaway. It's one-on-one against Locke, but he's able to lock it in and lock it up, but that's a shot on target, and that's now 2 in a row. Purcell's in the lower 90, and that's Jay Woo on top.
Now, you see, this was just some good shadowing. Now, more often than not, shadowing will get you in trouble, but that was essentially what we see on every single kickoff. It's the classic cheat up, and they met right there perfect in the midfield. Honestly, it was a near copy and paste of a cheat up kickoff play, and it paid off huge for Jay Woo.
You know what? I like a little bit of Control C, Control V myself, but let's see if you can cut away. Maybe a Control X to get away from your opponent. Wi-Fi will control it, looking for Stoops as an option. He actually will go solo dolo against everyone, but that 1-on-2 will turn into a counter. Jaro will be in chase. He actually wins the touch. It will be Perch Peach, who is perched nearby. He will slam it down, but just inside the stripes. It will have to be a reattempt by Dalhousie. They've been able to get one. They got it off of a bit of a whiff. They got to turn it more into accurate, methodical offensive. We're beyond halftime in game 2, 2-1 right now for Jay Woo.
Still plenty of time for Dalhousie to equalize, and they have the opportunities, but they are struggling to get past the defense of Jay Woo. As Perch Peach is going to look to get the back pass, but it is intercepted by Jay Woo Yellow. And now here comes the cross, only to be saved and cleared away. Wi-Fi not pulling the trigger, but will go up to end the progression at the midfield as now Spoots taking this one off the back wall, wins the 50-50, and the ball finds its way back in the Dalhousie half.
Locke. He has an open net. He's just got to be able to get one touch against Wi-Fi. They look for the double, and they get it! We're tied 2-2. It took 2 to tango and 2 touches to get it, but we were able to get there with sub 2 to go.
And just like that, we are all tied back at 2. And that was just a beautiful play, honestly. The solo dolo air dribble, but we can't ignore the bump play that came from Dalhousie to clear out the defenders, and then the follow-up dunk. It was just a great play all around from start to finish.
Ooh, bit of an awkward bouncing zone area for likes of Dalhousie as Wi-Fi just won't stop, and then neither will the offense of Jay Woo. They will take advantage of a bit of an awkward open zone. Locke can't get enough power behind it. Everyone's rotating. Gotta wonder where Perch Peach was going.
Oh, Perch Peach had just a tad bit too much faith. And you know what they say about too much of a good thing can end up being bad for you. They put all their trust in their teammate to clear that touch out. Perch Peach was sure that one was coming out back towards the midfield, but it did not. It stayed right there in the danger of Dalhousie, and they were punished for it.
I like faith and trust as much as I like pixie dust, but the magic has to be made and manipulated by the team itself. Perch Peach gonna lift up, has no extra boost. He's banking on Jaro to make any kind of operation out of it. No, Stoops will be able to doink it. Locke will lock it in and lock it up as he comes back to his own corner. But Wi-Fi again, another great initiation to bring it to the zone. We have the final minute of play of game number 2 for this best of 7 grand final. Dalhousie has found some good offense, but Jay Woo's had greater counter clears and plays, and this one will come off the pipes.
Yeah, that one was nearly on and in. He had 2 offensive players from Jay Woo going to dunk that one, but they just missed it off the side post there. But still, they're still sitting, of course, with the 1-goal lead, so nothing too devastating on their half just yet, as Dalhousie are still trying to equalize.
Back over to the midfield. It's a bit of a giveaway. Perch Peach looking for a bit of a bump onto Purcell's. That's a shot. It will go high. They do have the third man coming up, and that one may have put this one on ice. Stoops, he is showcasing some good focus, some good shooting, and some good follow-up and finishing class for the offense of Jay Woo.
Yeah, that was some great rotation there at the midfield. Of course, we saw the initial striker go in to get the touch, but they did not rotate back. The initial striker went in to get the bump as well, clearing the defenders out, messing up the defensive positioning, and then allowing for the follow-up to come through for Jay Woo. And now they have the 2-goal cushion with 15 seconds left to go.
With as little as Dalhousie's been able to put up, I think this one can be all said, done, and dusted. Hold that thought. Locke has something else in mind, but that one will be locked out. 3 seconds left. Dalhousie will be down 0-2, and Jay will be feeling pretty good about these first 2 games. Offense is winning the day. It's winning the fight, and may quite readily win the night against Dalhousie.
I mean, they're off to a great start so far. Clearly, they're up 2-0 in the overall scoreline. But not only that, I do like the change of pace that we're seeing from game number 1 to game number 2. In game number 1, they, on the side of JWoo, only had to score once, and that was enough. They held Dalhousie to a buttery bagel nil scoreline, and it was just kind of lackluster. In game number 2, both sides stepped it up. We saw more offense, we saw more bump plays, and we saw more passes. And we all know it's the pass plays that win the games.
Oh, yeah, because you're able to utilize those infield passing plays to really open up even more because everyone has to divert and see through the decoys. Are you going to bring it from the perimeter? Are you going to bring that pressure out of the corner? Or are you going to have a wanted man hanging out at the top of the box? Maybe Perch Beach will be able to get one from this kickoff, but no. Dalhousie had an early lead, and then it kind of all but disappeared. Was able to tie it up. They've not really been able to hang on to this one offensively and in control in the latter portions. That's a big save out of Wi-Fi. They're able to shut a couple of shots down. The defense from JWoo has been stellar so far.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing about JWoo is that not only are they able to get things done on the offensive side of the ball, but you got to go both ways. But unfortunately, there was no defense on the side of JWoo this time around. Jaro getting that touch and getting a huge punish on JWoo for pushing too far.
It'll be a great extension. Dalhousie will find another goal early in the first half minute of play. JWoo start from behind, but we know that that is something to not have to worry about as Stoops will be rising high. Is anyone available? Perch Peach. Oh, it's a nice little touch underneath, and look at that. 9 seconds later, it's all but erased, and tied up we will be 1-1.
This is why the flip reset is so deadly. Homie really just faked the flip reset because we practice so much to try and defend the flip reset, arguably one of the hardest mechanics to defend against, and then you get so used to jumping towards the flip reset, trying to block it, that you can never anticipate when the fake will come in, and the mind game goes in for JWoo. Now 1-1 as the shot will go on and in for Dalhousie. Perch Peach is there to bully that one home.
Oh my goodness, and Jaro was able to keep it locked in and locked up on the goal line, putting it through, making sure that the efforts were there and were benefited from, and just bodying the defender. Save couldn't happen. Perch Peach is Big Peach to be able to get that lead back for Dalhousie. That's a great response, one that we haven't seen from them in the previous couple games. Glad to see it.
Absolutely. Now, for the first time, Dalhousie, well, not for the first time, actually for the second time, Dalhousie has a 1-goal lead over JWoo. Now it's all about holding on to it. Remember the last time Dalhousie had the 1-goal lead against JWoo. Unfortunately, they inevitably fell. They could not hold on to it. Now, with 3 minutes and 40 on the clock, Dalhousie is in control.
Move right back over to Locke in the midfield. He actually looks for the second man as Wi-Fi. Ooh. Able to have a big miss in the corner, but of course the speed is being flashed by Stoops. Another large clear, but not a lot of boost for Perch Peach as they're perching at the midfield line as well. All this control, all this territory is slowly being circulated. Great rotations from either side. They're looking for where that gap is going to start to open up. Perch Peach, another fantastic challenge as Wi-Fi has always been a great initiator and passer, and now we have this one out of Stoops. He goes for the man, unable to get any kind of bump because Locke will elevate, and our first 2 minutes of play, believe it or not, have just now elapsed. It's still a 2-1 lead for Dalhousie.
And now Wi-Fi with the up and over to send this one into the back of the net. Wi-Fi is able to tie us all back up at 2.
Oh, man. All right, just when I was saying it, Wi-Fi is like, you know what? I don't just pass. I also get shots on target. And for the first time, they don't see him going to the perimeter, and that's maybe a little bit of conditioning of the Dalhousie defense. They haven't seen Wi-Fi do that too many times, and so when they finally beat the rotation, they're able to get this one title over again, but a shot put back, it will be very wide, and it will be Dalhousie in chase.
Now, once again, JWoo applying the pressure at the midfield as Jaro gets beat at the mid, and now the ball falling towards the net again, but Locke is there to get the save and clear it away, and now the counterattack is underway.
Nice big flick that comes off the pipe, and Perch Peach will have a little bump in transition. Doesn't have a whole lot of boost, so this is going to be a very weak venture, and immediately found by Wi-Fi. Jaro, we're working from one side of the net to the other. He's got some great focus, and that's going to be a couple of defenders that goes forward. Actually, Locke was part of that shooting marquee turnaround. Perch Peach has been hanging out in these zones a little bit too long for Dalhousie. I like the approach, but I don't like how slowly it goes for how long it goes. It's too much reading given away. That's a big demo by Jaro. A couple traded. We're sub 2 to go. Still locked in at 2 apiece.
Yeah, right now for the side of Dalhousie, we are seeing that Jaro definitely is the main aggressor. They are getting the demolitions, the air dribbles, and they are the spearhead of their offense. If I was on the side of Jwoo, I'm thinking that you need to get a demo on Jaro.
Oh, yeah. You got to be able to get rid of him. As he's already taken another shot. Again, it's a banger, but it goes wide. He'll be the first one to be able to come through. Perch Peach hangs out in the zone, takes the boost and the ball, and gives up a great pass. Locke gets rid of Stoops, and they're getting very, very physical. Perch Peach, oh, he's going for the layback dunk. Jaro will be able to keep this one in the offensive zone, but they got to watch out for the counterplay. A great bit of decision-making by Perch Peach to be able to challenge into that corner. A double commit. Everyone's hopping up. It is desperation times for Jwoo as they're all inside the stripes. They are now locked in at home, and it is Dalhousie that's on the attack.
Absolutely, and finally, it looks like they are able to avoid the danger over there for Jwoo, as now Wi-Fi is going to be taking this one back towards the danger of Dalhousie, as now Locke going up high, showing some aerial acrobatics, goes for the flip reset, but can't connect. Perch Peach now will take control at the mid, sitting this one back to the Jwoo side, only to be met by Purcell's back down to Jaro. And now the 50 will come through as the time continues to tick away. We are still locked at 2-2.
I don't have a minute. That's a great setup. Perch Peach. Oh, Locke will be outpaced, snatched away by Stoops. And this could be our first overtime of this series where Dalhousie definitely does not want to go down 3-0 and have to reverse sweep in a grand final against Jwoo. Jaro will be able to catch it against Purcell's, who is pursuing anyone that is trying to stay on that goal line and make things easier for themselves. Oh, this is a dangerous situation for Jwoo. Final possession could be theirs, but it'll be the final attack now for Dalhousie. A great crisscross applesauce. Is anyone at home? Is it going to go through? Oh, it will miss as it's just 0.5 seconds away from being a game win.
Oh my goodness, that was insanely too close for comfort for Jwoo, but now Jaro is going to lead the attack for Dalhousie in overtime. And I gotta say, this is the first time we have seen OT between these two teams, so we really don't know who is going to have that X factor, or we're not going to know which one of these teams is going to rise under the pressure of these extra seconds.
Yeah, it's all about focus, and it's a little trickeration as Stoops is trying to be able to get it right around a couple of defenders. Small ball play, acute level, as they are continuously looking for these bumps at the goal line to free something up, but it's also freeing a lot of space on their own back line. Jwoo under duress, and as the press will come in, Dalhousie will back up, wait for the miss, take it away from Wi-Fi. Locke pushes it to the 45 and calls up Perch Peach, but great challenges and better reads by the defense, sends one and done, and they send Dalhousie packing for right at this moment.
And now Jaro once again leading the attack, but now Spoots is able to get a demo on Perch Peach as the ball finds its way back into the Dalhousie half. Perch Peach coming off of the back wall now, and Spoots will send this one all the way to the other side, coming out of the corner, looking to find a teammate, but only finds Locke, and then Locke finds Spoots, but unfortunately, the demo will come through, and Perch Peach putting this one on target and in. Dalhousie will take their first win in OT.
That was the first time that Wi-Fi was unable to be able to nab it in the zone, and Perch Peach was perching the right attack lane and Vector to be able to just, I guess, be opportunistic, be able to put that one straight through the pipe when the defense caught him looking. So he was cooking. So we go in. It is not a 3-0, and so we're not on match point for either side. Dalhousie, a very, very necessary game one to be able to get them in this race alongside JWU.
Absolutely. I wasn't expecting Dalhousie to go the entire distance without getting any points on the board whatsoever. And then not to mention, this was our first overtime. They have set the tone for who is going to be handling the pressure in OT, and that is Dalhousie. They showed up in a major way. They did not fall. They did not falter. They embraced it, and they were able to turn it into a round win in their favor. Not to mention, that's going to only set the precedent that for the other team on Jwoo, they do not want to go up against Dalhousie in OT because so far they have the advantage.
It's 100%, but it's also 1-for-1. We have to see if this will happen again. Maybe a little bit of extended bonus Rocket League time. And of course, you guys are enjoying a wonderful championship Sunday. We go into game number 4 between these two awesome squads. Can the Tigers be able to take it? Or will we see the JW be able to step up and maybe finally get to that awesome match point? We go into this in the first minute of play.
And here we go, game number 4, well and underway, and already the first goal of the game is robbed and stolen away. That woulda, coulda, shoulda been a goal. Oh my, that was so close.
Oh, it was gonna be even closer now. Locke gonna be able to get out of his own box. Lockbox as it is, he's found the key. Stoops will be challenged, and Locke is getting speedier. That is something that I have liked about Dalhousie. They trust in him to be able to make a lot of these like end-to-end, just goal line to goal line, wall-to-wall approaches, and he doesn't do it with overcommits. But it's going to be Pursills that will pursue. Oh, that shot would have been on target, and the third man is not going to be able to make this read. Stoops just never had a chance at it. Didn't have any boost. Didn't have the line, and that one should have been in.
Yeah, again, that's the second time we saw a goal that should have been in, but still, we will remain tied 0-0 as we get past the first minute of play. And now Perch Peach going to take control at the midfield. Locke trying to get the shot, but it will be deflected and cleared away as now Jwoo will send this one back towards Dalhousie. And now Jaro going up high, has plenty of boost to work with, now over towards the side. And Jaro will lose possession as Perch Peach will send this one back towards Jwoo. And now Jwoo is on the attack.
I'd be worrying about some of these recovery lanes. You have a very lateral press coming out of Dalhousie a couple different times, which is good if you want to be able to get a much more aggressive stance. But if you get counterplay, Jwoo has nothing but open green grass. They'll go underneath. Perch Peach goes a little bit too high. Jaro will force it through, and that's going to be a demo onto Stoops. He'll have to respawn and recover. Locke sends it to the ceiling. That could be a good read. Perch Peach looking for a redirect, and Wi-Fi just trying to be able to maintain possession. 2 minutes. Can you believe it, Captain Ahsoka? 2 minutes have already elapsed off this clock, and we have no goals.
Oh, I can believe it. That's exactly what we saw in game number 1. It took them, like I said, nearly an entire half of regulatory play to find the back of the net. Ultimately, Jwoo winning 1-0. So seeing it come alive again is just self-evident of how equally matched these two teams actually are.
Go to the limit. Number 1, number 2 squads coming out of this wonderful division. Jaro, makes a little bit of inadvertent touch as that one comes off of a wayward defender. Stoops trying to be able to hand it off to anyone, or at least give his players some time to rotate. This one will flop nearby. Locke looking for a redirect, looking to something. It must drop into the box, but we are well beyond halftime. That's a great challenge by Stoops, and an even bigger save by Perch Peach. He's able to perch himself right at the goal line to keep this one still even at nothing.
Yeah, but the offense from Jwoo has not given up yet, although they are getting one too many missed touches to formulate an attack as now the ball finds its way back into the Jwoo half. And now Locke going up high towards the side will get the touch, but not the follow-up as the ball finds its way back towards the midfield, and we have just passed the 2-minute warning.
Oh boy, this is when we're just near about that bronze to silver gold territory. Dalhousie, these Tigers are trying to claw their way into a tied series, see if they get it over into a 2-2. But Jwoo, they understand that the pressure's on. Locke, he locks and lows, and he delivers a cannon.
Absolutely, this was quite the shot and pass. Perch Peach literally teeing that one up for Locke just to come in and put that one on and in. Now 1-0 in the favor of Dalhousie, and they themselves will once again take control over Jwoo.
Dalhousie looking for vengeance. Their only regular season loss, and the only loss entirely in the NECC spring split here was to Jwoo at Game 5. These two faded rivals looking primed to be able to go to a Game 7. That's a back pass. Perch Peach trying to find Jaro and an extension of this pressure. Jaro goes to the ceiling, but he is finding Wi-Fi in his face. Now Pursills with the pursuance. He's going up and will drop it down over to Stoops, their better striker. Locke, though, it's an easy read for him. We're coming up on the final minute mark here of game number 4, and it's still a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that was a good opportunity for Jwoo, and unfortunately, it was a wasted opportunity. Wi-Fi did not have the boost and not have the juice to come up with the follow-up touch, and they were way too far back to contribute to the offense. But now we have a double commit coming from Jwoo as Perch Peach sends this one over towards the middle, but Spoots will put their life on the line to get the save and clear it away.
Is this an equal but opposite from game 1 to game 4? Do we have simply 1 goal on the board and nothing more? 40 seconds left. Locke, he tries to elevate. He's going to have 1 extra touch. He actually goes low. That was very smart, but Locke will be put to the grave for now by Stoops. Jaro waiting on Perch Peach. Great challenge. He forces 1 away by Wi-Fi, and Stoops will actually get a demo onto Locke. That's a breakaway. Will it be a win of the foot race? Jaro with a shot on target, and a big save by Wi-Fi, but they have to be able to get some offense in this final quarter minute of play.
And they desperately need it now. If they're going to make a step up on offense, if they're going to try and equalize, it has to be now. Wi-Fi is taking this one out towards the side, but it's met by Jaro. Going to put this one up towards the box of Jwoo, met by Spoots. Spoots missing the double touch, and now no one back to clear this one out. 0 seconds on the clock, and that will just about do it. Dalhousie will take game number 4 and tie the series 2 apiece.
Man, you drop 2, you win 2, you're starting to feel good. We saw the offense that was powerful, that was controlling, that was just overwhelming from Jwoo from Johnson & Wales University, just become depleted. That was the first time today, at least in this series, that they've had 0 scores. And so, I mean, what in the heck happened? I mean, a lot of pressure, a lot of play, and a lockdown by Locke.
Well, honestly, on the side of Dalhousie, they just had amazing shot percentage. Not only that, but they were controlling the pace of the game. They had the possession, the majority of the possession, by the way, and they were putting shots on target, where if you look on the other side of Jwoo, whenever they did have possession, they were able to formulate plays, but they didn't put the shots on target. They weren't able to find the back of the net. So at the end of the day, it was just great shot selection that won out for Dalhousie.
Yep. When you force the defense to be able to see, hey, oh no, we can't be able to break through this brick wall. We got to be able to go back, get some sledgehammers, and that's what's going to be happening in this game number 5. Game 5 is going to depict who will have match point heading into our minimum of game 6 for this grand final of this wonderful division of play. These top 2 teams, they have played against each other before. It went to 5, and minimum is going to 6. So can we get you guys in the chat to be able to tell us if it's going to be going a distance to 7? Who will be able to take this match point? I don't know. I got to figure it out, and I get to watch it, and I get to enjoy it. This strike will be on target. Bursills will dig it out early.
I love how Dalhousie immediately starts off with the aggression on the offense, not missing a beat from the previous matchup, and with only 15 seconds gone, hail Monkey Man, we have ourselves the first goal of game number 5.
We do, and Perch Peach has just been a nuisance for JW to have to deal with. I was kind of criticizing a little bit earlier about how long he hangs out in those zones, but when you're able to just slowly grind down your opponent, then you're able to just catch them off guard. He stuck around and was able to get a great strike. He's already doing so again, forcing the first defender to be able to have to deflect it. Locke was there in case it fell back into the box. That's another opportunity. It's a fake out, and it will go wide again. Already, like you said, the Tigers are on the hunt.
Absolutely, and now look at Purcell's on the hunt, getting locked down and out. We'll get the demo, and now Wi-Fi with the missed touch will leave this one for Jaro, who goes up high, but gets bumped all the way towards the side. And now Wi-Fi again taking control, has a lot of boost to work with, and an extra teammate there in the mid. That gets broken up at the midfield. Purcell's now going to get hit down by Jaro. Spoots, is going to take control here. Now back towards the quarter. Has one teammate in the middle, but the save from Perch Peach will come through, and the defense from Dalhousie holds strong.
And you weren't wrong about what you called him, because he's been kind of a support player more than he's been that leading DPS. If we were to equate this to other types of games, what a big miss. Maybe a bit of a fake out to be able to calm up and get someone to come up. It's a 2-on-1. They do not field this well, and Wi-Fi, he'll be fielded into a body bag. Jaro hunting heads and hunting for ways for Dalhousie to get out of their own half safely. This is a very dangerous situation for the Tigers as this one goes across. Pursills will pursue, and this will be a shot on target when everyone's trying to respawn. Well, guess what? Recovery goes to Jwoo.
Yeah, honestly, they just wore out the defense of Dalhousie. That demo coming in was insane. The smoke screen also was able to obscure the view of the defense, and it just threw a wrench into the defense of Dalhousie, and they were able to take advantage. Once again, Jwoo being able to capitalize on the physical play.
Oh, but the strike, that was necessary because Peach was about to put some speed. That's a great pass. It's a little bit too strong. They will commit 2 players to it, trying to play it slow and low. Jaro will at least extend the time. But this one's in the defensive half of JWoo. No extra boost. They steal it away. And look at Perch Peach. He's going from end to end, side to side, coast to coast to be able to keep JWoo from making a single step out of their own half. We advance to the midfield line, and Dalhousie has stopped the jailbreak.
Yeah, and I love how Dalhousie is starting to take the gloves off a little bit. They've been getting some bumps over there at the midfield, and it's just been an absolute back and forth of some demolition derby so far. But Wi-Fi will get the 50-50 to send this one towards the mid, but no one from JWoo was there to put that one in. Again, an opportunity falling down to the wayside.
Wi-Fi hangs it over to the 45. We'll get a secondary touch, but Jaro does not bite on the initial approach. This one will ultimately fall into the hands of the Tigers. That one ends up connecting a little bit mishappenly to a would-be attacker from JWoo. They are sent packing and on a field trip into their own corners, seeing if they can get a little bit extra. Lock to anyone. No option there. But again, just like you were talking about, they have gotten chippy. This is a bar fight. They are throwing fists, throwing hands, throwing haymakers at one another. Bit of a fat miss by Perch Peach. That'll be a shot back. Jaro luckily was in position, and he's asking for Lock to help him out, but currently they're under duress.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening right now. It's starting to seem to me like both teams are really starting to feel exhausted. They're feeling the pressure, and they are running out of stamina. We see them going for these shots, and honestly, we're seeing more than one missed touches that honestly should have been on target. But again, it's just we're seeing a kind of deterioration of the endurance coming from both of these teams.
Yeah, this is conditioning coming into play and showcasing either its weakness or its strength. You have best of 3s, those are sprints. Best of 5s, those are jogs. Best of 7s, they are marathons. And you are in game number 5 knowing that no matter what, one of you has to go into a game 6 and the trophy is in sight. It's on the podium, or you're looking at a few extra medals. Things are getting shinier, and someone has to be able to get that one away. That's a 1-2. That's going to be dropped. Oh, no. No great connection by Perch Peach. Had an option to be able to go to the top shelf, but it just comes out. Sub 1 minute of play remaining. One of these teams will have match point by the end, and Locked will be blocked.
And this was a great clear from Wi-Fi, being able to buy their team enough time to reconstruct themselves and to adapt and react. And now with 40 seconds on the clock, Dalhousie will take control and possession of the ball inside of JWoo territory, but the clear will come out for JWoo. With only 30 seconds to go, JWoo now on the offensive, have a little bit of momentum to work with, but Locke is there to get the pass up high, but Dalhousie cannot get up there in time. The possession will go back to JWoo.
Locke, as the third man in that rotation, will be able to make sure this one stays on the JWoo half. Jaro, he has been a menace to society and to Johnson and Wales, as he consistently has been putting them straight into the dirt and forcing them to resurrect. But this will be a counter clear, trying to be able to make one counter play work. That one's over the heads of everyone. They'll be able to catch it. They'll lay it down. Wise decision. We go to OT.
And here we go. This is the second OT in this series. And remember, the last time these two teams met in extra seconds, it went to Dalhousie. So this is going to be a tall order for JWoo as they try to correct the mistakes of the past and put one on in extra minutes.
Perch Peach looking for Jaro in this transition. Let's go to the side wall, and Stoops is already elevating for it. This one will be a great challenge. That one will be coming up, and that's going to be a win! It's going to go in for Locke. It will be Dalhousie in 27 seconds. They have match point. Great connection, good focus, just to force their way through.
Hell, Monkey Man, I don't know what to tell you. Some teams, and again, if I'm capping, say Cap's capping, but we all know that overtime is a different game. OT hits different, and some teams are simply overtime teams, some teams are not. And I can even go back and throw this way back to Flipside Tactics and Cookser. Cookser was probably one of the best OT players in RLCS history, and it just goes to show that some people really do play better in those extra minutes. So some simply have what it takes, and so far Dalhousie has proven twice that they are in fact an overtime team.
It is about pressure, It's about being bracket boys. It's about just being able to be successful when under that duress, because that strain, that obstacle, that is the sign, and that is the overall just symbolism of a championship style team. If you can be able to make it through that, you can make it through anything. And JWoo, they have to show that they can get beyond that kind of pressure, especially because now they are down in the series. They are not out, but they are definitely on life support. Dalhousie is on match point. We are one step away of going to Champions Field and getting to the finality of a full best of 7, but already the press is here. Oh, and a big save. Wi-Fi comes up large.
Yeah, they cannot give anything away for free this time. Wi-Fi stepping up insanely clutch when they needed to. And now Purcell's taking control, trying to clear this one out. But Dalhousie, once again, missing no steps between the previous game and into this one. They are continuing the aggression and the overwhelming offense that has gotten them this 3-2 lead in the series.
I have been so impressed with how much velocity, controlled and otherwise, that's been presented by Dalhousie. You have Locke and Jaro. They've been hunting heads, and Perch Peach, even though his play is a little bit suspect at times, he's keeping with it and has shown some focus and shown some dividends. But JWoo, they have the exact same kind of arsenal. They've been able to put this Dalhousie team into the L column at least once before. They have to stand up strong. Gotta do it again. Wi-Fi with a better connection has to get it around Locke. He has a great pitch up and catch and dunk. Oh, it's just like they drew it up, and it's gonna be Dalhousie up first.
And then here we go. This is the Dalhousie offense that we're talking about. They didn't even rush. There was no panic. Locke had the ball in the corner and did not opt out to hit a banger on the other side of the pitch. It was nice. It was finessed. It was cool, calm, and collected. A nice floater pass towards the mid that literally teed off Perch Peach to get the 1-0 lead in game number 6 now.
We have had not a lot of these 1-2 passing plays out of JWoo, which is odd because they were the ones that started it all off. It's been all Dalhousie that's been able to really take control and make better challenges against JWoo. Johnson and Wales have just not kept with that pace. It's a great passing play. He actually takes it away, Perch Peach does, from Locke. So that one will be on the forehead of Purcell's, but Perch Peach will be able to get there. And so as we go beyond 100 seconds of play into game number 6, it's still all of a 1-0 game. And we've had a couple of those that be the only scoring line. And, you know, they've traded who's been able to win those. I wonder if we'll be able to get any kind of better strikes out of JWoo here.
And now JWoo trying to get out of their own half, but Dalhousie, once again, doing a phenomenal job of literally locking JWoo inside of their own half, inside their own territory. Wi-Fi finally able to hit this one past the midfield mark, but it gets put right back again by Dalhousie, and now the opportunity is there. They will put this one on and in, and they will get the 2-0 lead over JWoo.
Oh boy, it's getting closer for the Tigers. Locke puts it through. That counter found the back line wide open, and if you have that much airtime and that much open space from Johnson and Wales, well, then you got to be able to lock up these rotations. Some of these challenges are just coming out so much faster, so much quicker. Oh, and the defense is answering in kind.
It's so funny because we've seen Dalhousie play so much offense. We really don't get to see too many highlight defensive saves coming from the side of Dalhousie, but when the time comes, they are able to answer in a major way, holding their own goal line and holding their defense strong.
No boost for Purcell's. So that one will be soft. It will be Jaro, though, that has nothing. That's a shot on target, and Stoops is able to catch the defense, just acting a little bit weak. He rotated to the near side post and was not able to catch it. Locke, it deflects off his body, and that deflects in for cutting this lead in half.
Hey, Lucky Man, did you know another name of mine was Captain Caster's Curse? I literally just talked up Dalhousie defense, and then as soon as I do, they get scored on. Oh, that feels bad, but not for JWoo. They have cut the lead of Dalhousie in half. Now 2-1. JWoo is back within striking distance.
You know, at least you didn't get promoted to Major Caster's Curse. I think that'd be worse.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But as we have now sub 2 minutes of play, this is no laughing matter. JWoo, they have to be able to get another goal, and they have to keep these counters from occurring. Wi-Fi, he is playing deep. Kind of see that they're playing a little bit of a 1-2 extension of the pitch, seeing if anything can open up, which means that Dalhousie just has to start locking in maybe a 1-2 back the other direction, keep that goal line staunch and stern for anyone trying to be able to make a strike, but Jaro finds the clear and the strike. Great placement, opposite side post. Oh my goodness.
What angle is this? Look at this Jaro coming out from the corner, not only threading the needle of the crossbar and the side right bar, but threading the needle not between one but two defenders. You cannot get a better placed shot than that, and honestly, that could be the goal of the game right there. Hell, Monkey Man.
Oh, they're trying to be able to top it, though, and they're trying to be able to top Jwoo in a big way. They started off with 2, but the gentleman's reverse sweep might be occurring as they stack up 4 goals against Johnson and Wales Dalhousie. They are a minute 24 away from a championship and from some revenge after the regular season loss in Game 5 to JW. There's still plenty of time to make it work. They just have to have the second approach. Oh, these attacks are just off target.
Yeah, just a little bit too sloppy Joe for Dalhousie. You know, they're able to play that and predict it, and of course able to clear that out and still have plenty of time left over. Dalhousie, however, wasting no time whatsoever as they still have the 3-goal lead with only a minute to go. Jaro is going to clear this one out, but gets dunked instead. Perch Beach is there to send this one over towards the side, and honestly, it's just a game of keep away now for Dalhousie, keeping the ball out of their net, and Jwoo confined in their own half.
This is a team that's broken down in the rotation. You saw how close those 2 next attackers were in the box. I mean, look how close they're trying to go 1-2 bang, and that's just not happening because the defense is stacked up. It's like a layered onion, and it stinks for Jwoo, but it smells oh so great for Dalhousie. Less than a half minute to go. The trophy's on the stand, and they're engraving their names on it, but is there a chance for a miracle to happen? I'm not so sure.
I believe in miracles, but I don't think this is going to be one of them. Jwoo, I just can't see them coming up with 3 goals in a matter of 10 seconds, especially against this Dalhousie defense, as they are still unrelenting on offense. The final 5 seconds are on the clock, and that will just about do it. It is all but over except the crying. Dalhousie will take the win in 6, and they are your grand final champions.
Oh man, enjoy the #1 spot and enjoy a little bit of vengeance. That is oh so good to see, to hear, to witness. Emergence Yellow Division has crowned their champion is the Dalhousie University Tigers. Oh, they did roar and they came back. They were down 0-2, Captain Etsoka, but that big overtime turnaround was really the momentum shift, and then they were able to just shut down what was at one point a fiery offensive from Johnson and Wales. It was no more.
Absolutely. I was actually going to make that point myself. Remember, it was Jwoo that went up 2-0 against Dalhousie, and then Dalhousie comes back to get 4 unanswered wins on the board. And all it took was that one. That's what set the tone. As soon as Dalhousie was able to get that first win on the board, it was simply a tsunami of momentum coming in towards the favor of Dalhousie. And honestly, they just could not be stopped.
It was a storm, and it became the norm. And you guys are going to get to see and hear a wonderful player interview from Dalhousie as they'll be taking home the trophy. Stick with us. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everyone. It's time for a lovely interview. You've been watching a heck of a matchup that ended in Game 6 with Dalhousie taking down JW. I'm Hell Monkey Man here with Captain Atsoka, and we've got a player interview with none other than Perched Peach. He was perched all over the pitch, and he was able to be a peach of a player. Perched Peach, congratulations! 4-2, you take the Emergence Yellow Division Championship. I need to know right now, how do you feel?
My bad. Okay, so I feel pretty good, thank you. Yeah, it's a wicked feeling to win the finals.
Yeah, you guys went into a matchup with a team that you guys saw in Game 5 and ultimately couldn't take down in the regular season. And so when you come into this big, this ultimate finality of you versus JW, I mean, were the big game plans? Was there anything of like, all right, this is what we did last time, this is what we're bringing to the table now? What was y'all's focus for victory?
Honestly, like when we played them originally in Game 5, I think it went to like a ridiculous overtime for the last game, but we just said just clear comms, keep talking, because when we go silent, that's really where our tendencies of mixing things up, double committing come from. And we knew that if we just played our game, kept the comms good, we would be successful.
Yeah, their comms must have been up, huh, Captain Atsoka? They were wild out there.
Absolutely. Not to mention, we saw the connection on the pass plays time and time again coming out from y'all and the rest of Dalhousie. And honestly, clearly the comms were there. But I got to ask you, Perch Peach, I got to run this one by you. Of course, early on in the series, y'all went down 2-0 against JWoo and somehow were able to turn it all the way around, win 4 unanswered games. How were y'all able to adapt and react? What was the comms like? What was the conversation after losing those first 2?
Well, the comms were a little down, but we just realized that after the second loss, like, we just needed to reset and just play it fresh and start talking, because there was a lack of comms at that point. And once we did that, things just started clicking a lot better, and yeah, went on a run.
It was a splendid one too, because we got to see a lot more heads rolling. Did Jaro take up the mantle of responsibility to go downfield and get some demos? It looked like he was like, all right, I'm gonna get a touch, but let me go like delete 3 players in front of you guys. Was that his plan?
He's really good at doing that in general. Like when he's on his game and he's doing that, that's pretty much when you know he's playing well. And it really helps clear the front of the net for one of me or Locke to come in and to pop it in.
And you guys were popping it in a lot more often after the early bit of pressure. You answered offense with some stern defense. And Captain Atsoka, there were so many good just opportunities from them to be able to get just more in their opponent's face. They kind of locked them down.
Absolutely. And we were talking about that in the middle of the series. Like, we're heading all the way into game number 6. I can only imagine the type of endurance that it takes. As a matter of fact, I could, being a former competitive player myself, that after, around like 4 or 5 games, you really start to get tired. And it looked like JWoo was starting to wear down in game number 6. They were looking like they were a little numb in the thumbs. How does that endurance and how does the stamina affect you when you're heading all the way to the last game of a best of 7?
It definitely is when you're playing at such a high like capacity. Like you're trying to make sure that you're not messing anything up, and it definitely does take a toll on towards the end of the series. But I think just you got to remember that you only have a couple games or 1 game left, and then you win it. So it kind of fuels that fire of getting it done.
Well, you know what? You guys added a lot of fuel to the fire. That is going to be a big burn that is roaring oh so bright for Dalhousie and the Tigers. You guys did a great job today. You take it 4-2 over Johnson and Wales. And I need to know, any big shout outs for you, your program, your fans, your friends, the club for Perch Peach?
Shout out to my teammates, Locke and Jaro. And shout out to the school, Dalhousie. And shout out to my buddies, the men's in the Discord watching this right now. Appreciate the support, guys. And my girlfriend. Shout out to her, too. She's going to hate me if I don't say that.
Hey, before you go, my guy, I got to get one thing from you. You got to show off that drip. That is a clean-looking jersey. Let's get a better look at it, my guy. That is a nice jersey. Yes, absolutely. Rep the team, rep the squad, and rep the school. There it is. Dalhousie jersey, Dalhousie merch, looking clean as ever.
It is a nice jersey.
It's really good. Well, you know what? Enjoy the win. Enjoy the trophy that'll be coming y'all's way, and enjoy this awesome just spring split. You guys took it in Emergence Yellow. You took it 4-2. You exacted your revenge. You took a championship win. Congratulations. Enjoy the day, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys very much.
Oh, you know what? We get to see even more of this Captain Ahsoka, as we had awesome interview with Perch Peach. You and I will get to have even more coming up. We have all day long 17 grand finals are going to be happening between the NECC 2, which is right here, and of course the A stream that's going on over there. Make sure you check it out all day long with us from, I guess, early afternoon tonight. But Captain Ahsoka will be back here in just the next few minutes with our next matchup coming up.
Good afternoon, all, and welcome back to some Rocket League Grand Finals right here at the NECC. Once again, I am your hairless host, Captain Atsoka, joined in the booth by none other than the man themselves, Hail Monkey Man.
Oh man, I've got enough hair for the both of us. So if you ever need any extra, I hope you like red because that's what we got. But you know, if you guys like red, it's ready for fire and flames from Howard Community College in our next matchup as the Dragons are looking to soar, looking to take down Lebanon Valley Blue, those Flying Dutchmen. You know, we have a couple of flying groups and universities that are going to be facing off against one another here, Captain Ahsoka. And if we're in the Challenge Division, well, it's going to be even faster than before.
Well, let's find out as we get this game underway. And already we're seeing some demos on the board. It's Fuzzy Wuzzy to get the demo on Arrow. Now Fuzzy Wuzzy with the follow-up, not able to get the touch on that as the ball finds its way back towards the midfield. And another demo from Howard CC, getting one on LVC Blue. And now the ball finds its way back into the Howard territory, but Arrow sends this one up high all the way to the other side of the pitch. And now Arrow following up, getting the touch off the crossbar, but it will not go in. This one falls down by the wayside.
A lot of early pressure by Howard Community College as we have some good flights of the Dragons, but that's an even better take. Fuzzy Wuzzy will be bumped by logs and trees. Arrow elevating, looking for a double tap. I'll be able to dive upon it, but look at these taps. Look at all these connections. We are not allowing anything from Lebanon Valley Community or Blue to be able to get out of their own half for a long enough amount of time to be worthwhile. They finally get one great challenge. It could be a counterplay, but Howard has been able to keep it up. Maybe it's LVC's turn.
Just might be, but the clear will come through from Howard CC as they were able to hit this one up high and towards the side. Going for the flippery doodah, flip reset, but will get nothing. Instead, this ball finds its way back and towards the Howard Community College territory, but finally the clear will come through, and now LVC Blue are back in possession.
Great pickup, looking for the double. He's got it. It's going to come off a deflection from logs and trees, but that one was set up pretty either way. Just short of 90 seconds burn into game number one. They're clipping, and they are clicking for the side of Lebanon Valley.
Yep, right there. Megars is able to show a little bit of that finesse, getting a nice aerial touch there in the follow-up to put that down and in, giving LVC Blue the 1-goal lead. And now it's going to be Frenchie trying to do it again. Not being able to get the touch there, but a banger coming off the backboard is going to leave a clear to come through for Howard CC. Is now they are on the attack, looking to connect, finds the pass, but not the shot. It's just off target.
You've seen some good defense so far from the Flying Dutchman. They've been able to really get in the face of Howard, as Howard has as well. This is going to be a secured goal. Oh, Arrow! Yo, he pulled a Houdini. I didn't know where he was. He was the rabbit in his own hat and just appeared out of nowhere. New bull will be challenged, and now less than 3 minutes to go. This one has gone very quickly because it's been a big trade of just challenges off target, says I, but good defense, says they. This one has an open net, but no one to be able to press upon it.
Yeah, it do in fact be like that sometimes. When you get that long clear, you have the opportunity to try and make a fast break play, but you have no backup because your team was still recovering from the defenses. Now, it's going to be Frenchie again to get the banger off of the side and back towards the middle. Is now Megar is looking to get the read on the ball here. Has a teammate to work with, but it's just a little bit too wide.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was in fact there, but Fuzzy Wuzzy had no power to declare a shot on target. That one will be coming on back. Megar's able to go from one side of the pipes to the other. Fuzzy Wuzzy gets that one stolen away. We have all of the single goal. That's all that we've ever needed, though, for a win, and that happened a couple times before in our previous stream, or rather in our previous match, and maybe that could be tried and true for Lebanon Valley. Another good take. New Bull just looking for space, but the speed has been able to increase over the last few minutes for the side of LVC, and they're just not letting go.
Yeah, LVC definitely winning the shot count race. They've been putting shot after shot on target, but the defense from Howard CC has held strong. But still, LVC does have the advantage with the 1-0 lead, as once again, Howard CC finds themselves at the mercy of the LVC Blue offense, as now LVC is going to have to play a little defense.
Got a feel for the Dragons. Every single time they're about to start on their offense, it just seems like a one-touch done approach. They're unable to do much more with it, as now Lebanon Valley really kind of just encircled approach and just encased the Dragons in their own cave. Frenchie Good challenge as he's unable to get out of his own half. Fuzzy Wuzzy takes away the opportunity. New Bull will be nearby, and that's going to be a dunk. It's going to be coming from Arrow. Aerodynamic as it was just before the last minute of play.
That dunk was nutty. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. New Ball able to get the dunk from underneath LVC Blues defense and then put that one right up and over the crossbar, of course, leaving it for Arrow to come in and put the dunk in. Now, 1 minute remaining, and we are tied 1-1.
And Howard Community College, able to be sound enough in their rotations, get out of each other's way, and give themselves a surplus of opportunities, or will it be just one punishing push? Bring it on back. LVC is trying to do the exact same thing. We are already primed for what could be a game 1 OT, but that one's going to be put on target. Gars finding an open space. New Bull will drop it over to anyone. He has options, but they're both in the exact same spot, which means most of the field is uncongregated upon. Magars is going to leave it for Fuzzy Wuzzy. It's a 2-on-1, but the save will be made by New Bull.
And now a mistouch from Frenchie could be an opportunity for Howard CC to find the back of the net. The cross will come in, but Frenchie able to recover and get the save. And now the attack is on for LVC Blue as Arrow gets back in time to clear this one towards the side. And now going to the other side of the pitch with only 10 seconds to go. One of these teams can make an opportunity happen as Magars is going to try and go for the back pass here. Has Frenchie sends this one up high, but the clear comes through with no time remaining on the clock. Frenchie keeps this one alive. Back over to Arrow, and finally the ball will hit the dirt. We have OT.
That was a good follow-up to secure where that ball would go. Otherwise, that was going to go into the waiting arms of an LVC attacker. Fuzzy Wuzzy already trying to leap early, and it's already the Flying Dutchman trying to put that pressure on. No, that boost was stolen away from the attack, so that's a great press to give a counterplay opportunity over to the Dragons, Howard Community College. They're now put back into their cave. Immediately, this first half into play. A trade of who's going to take over the longer distance. Oh, what a strike, and can they get behind it? No. New Bull may have wanted to opt to be able to give over to Arrow, but away we go again.
And now in retreat is LVC Blue as Arrow sends this one up high, only to be met by Fuzzy Wuzzy. Now back down to Magars. Magars gets the up and over longs and trees. And now Arrow in the retreat again. The touch will come through for LVC, and it goes on and in as LVC Blue takes game number 1 in OT.
Single flash of brilliance, a great challenge, and following up on your own good touch. That's exactly what Magars did, and that's what the Flying Dutchman needed. They take game number 1 just short of a minute into OT play. Okay, so earlier we were talking about how, can we define a team based on the pressure that they have in OT, and we already have 1 game of OT. Lebanon Valley looking pretty good in those pressure situations.
Yeah, I was about to say, you most definitely can define a team. We have RLCS teams that are completely defined about their performance in OT. And honestly, again, it's going to set the precedent that you don't want to go up against LVC in OT. That's what happened literally in the match we just saw before this one. It was Dalhousie. They went into OT once, they won. They went into OT again, they won the second time. So that being said, I can guarantee that it's not going to be on the side of Howard Community College to try and extend any match into extra minutes. If they're going to take the dub over LVC, they're going to have to do it in regulation.
And that's very much proven and doubled up by the simple fact that their early pressure didn't render them anything, and they had such a brief amount of offense. You were speaking to the surplus of just shooting that was coming out of the Dutchman. Well, we didn't see a whole lot of that. Maybe it's more about efficiency, but Howard needs to be able to corral in the Dutchman more often. Fuzzy Wuzzy, though, he'll have to make a save as Logs and Trees does put it on target. A double commit. Arrow has to control this ball, allow his teammates a time to stall, and they'll be able to get this one from their own back line.
And now already we see Howard CC once again on the defensive side, but they're able to recover nicely as New Ball is able to send this over to Arrow. Now Logs and Trees with an opportunity goes up and off the corner with the putback, but it gets saved and cleared away. Arrow now is going to take a chance here, but the defense from LVC will hold strong.
It's the kind of defense you need to see, and that's what we saw early in game 1 for Lebanon Valley. They have just been shut down over the Dragons, and Fuzzy Wuzzy will elevate to try and do the same thing. First minute of play, still locked into those goose eggs. They make a fine breakfast, but they don't make for anyone winning a match. Arrow with a handoff over the Logs and Trees. Will the third come up? Yes, they will, but that strike was very, very wide, but it does render a second approach.
Yeah, still 0-0 here, and we have seen several opportunities from both sides to find the back of the net, but they seem to be struggling with their shot accuracy. The first one, I think, to take a nice percentage shot, actually put one on target, will probably find the back of the net, and there's one there, but Frenchie is able to save that one and clear it away. Now, Logs and Trees is going to go right past the ball there, but gets a cheeky little bump on the goalie. Still not much doing, as we are still tied at 0-0.
Dragons trying to leap. We'll slow things down, play a little bit more methodical, but that is a very, very readable play as they drop it over to Arrow in the midpoint of the pitch. Logs and Trees, much faster follow. We're getting a little bit more physical against the Dutchman. Frenchie will extend. He's got a one-on-one against New Bull. Frenchie just has to get to that top corner, and he does. Good car control, good ball control, and that's another lead for LVC.
I'm telling you, you got to watch out for the finesse. It's real. It's 100% real. That air dribble was insane, going right off the nose of the Fennec, putting it in the upper 90. That is some high intense accuracy. Like I said, when that shot accuracy comes through, one of these teams will find the back of the net, and this time it was LVC Blue.
That was a defender that was just kind of supplanted on their own back line. I think it was New Bull who was caught out in just a little bit of awkward space, but never went up at all to go challenge. And so you're going to leave that kind of just aerial superiority in favor of your opponent. They're going to be able to take those kinds of shots, especially at this level here in Challengers White. Magars looking to finish it up, as Arrow will go to the ceiling and he'll be able to extend. It's now a one-on-one, but Fuzzy Wuzzy will take control. It's now leaning towards his net. He's got to get in the way, but he hands it off over to Frenchie.
Yeah, I gotta say, I like the big IQ plays coming from LVC, because even when they're on defense, they're mind gaming Howard CC, because they're forcing opportunities. They're forcing the fake opportunity that Howard CC can get control of the ball, when really it's just LVC Blue waiting for the touch from Howard CC to react, to either get a 50-50 or to just clear it out. So I think LVC is doing a really good job at predicting these touches coming from Howard Community College.
You face great anticipatory reads like that, though. That's when you have to start utilizing your challenge and fake game. Really kind of control the pace through when you're going to maybe even desync your shot. Maybe just kind of step out, step back in. That's hard to do in the moment unless you're fairly well-versed at one play. But New Bull, he'll have no extra boost, and leave it for Arrow. That will be a shot available. Nothing from Logs and Trees. He's a little bit far back. He's trying to play as the janitor, see if anything will come up. Frenchie slowing it down. Didn't have anything in his own boost tank to be able to get that one on target, but we have still just a 1-goal lead, and LVC have been able to just dominate time of control and time of pace, and of course, time with the ball.
Now Howard CC able to get a clear out, and they desperately need it now. A shot on, but will get saved and cleared away by Magars, who will win the 50-50 in turn. But the follow-up coming through from Logs and Trees will send this one back to LVC territory, as they have less than a minute to try and find the back of the net and try to equalize.
Don't want to go down 0-2. We've already seen 0-2s not be a sure thing, but your offense needs to step up, be a more sure thing. That could be an opportunity, but we don't go OT again just yet. New Bull, near side corner approach. He has no extra boost. That is a great rotation from the Dutchman, but that's an even better win around one of the Dutchmen. Magars was the hero last time. He's got to come up huge now, and this is a great offense to just trap the Dutchman in their back half, but it's been taken away.
And now they have the opportunity. Logs and Trees will get the demo on Frenchie. But now going up and high was Magars, as this will get 50 back towards the mid. And the follow-up from Frenchie again. Fuzzy Wuzzy to get the shot, but it will be deflected. As now only 5 seconds remain, and LVC just has to run the clock, as Magars will put the shot on, but not in. But that's okay. They will win anyway. LVC Blue will now go up 2-0 in the series over Howard CC.
Clinical rotations and defense out of the Dutchman. They just never let anything through, and every single time we saw Howard Community College trying to press up, it seemed a little bit dysfunctional and disjuncted, and they were facing that multi-layered defense that just wasn't going to break from Lebanon Valley. They are playing very, very clean Rocket League, and they're just making it just the most difficult thing ever for Howard to be able to get in and into their net.
And it's just so funny, because I love seeing games like this where it ends 1-0, there's a shutout, because I have a theory that definitely people don't like in the Rocket League community, but it still is evident in the fact that if you want to win a game of Rocket League, you only need to score once. And we see that happen again for the second time today. We have seen a game go 1-0.
No, how dare you compare this to soccer? This is no comparative to soccer. Just awful. But you're right. It's definitely a kind of a defense wins championships mindset and just control. But I love a whole lot of offense. This is why this one has explosions, cars with rocket packs on the back of them. It's very much a non-standard form of soccer and/or football. But we go into the first 15 seconds of play. I need to see Howard Community College step it up, because every time they've stepped up, it has been LVC that's made them step out.
And now LVC once again on the attack, wasting no time whatsoever. But neither is Howard CC. They're going to get another demo on the board. And I got to say, I do like the physical play. You know, everybody knows this. I've said it time and time again. But now I especially like it because Howard CC is starting to get a little bit more mean there at the midfield by getting these bumps and demos.
That was a difference maker. Whenever we compare this to the previous series, what was the difference? It was Jaro that was going in, rolling heads, being able to make sure that rotation broke down. If that's been clean, you got to get mean. Logs and trees, Howard Community College, they'll be up first.
And you see, that's the thing. Howard CC needed to do this. They needed to step up. They've been kind of polite in the first 2 games. And in Rocket League, you can't be too nice because you have got to get on the board. You have got to bump the opposition out of the way. You got to get in their face a little bit. You know, that's what Rocket League's all about. And now Howard CC starting to finally step up a bit as they finally will take the lead against LVC.
If they end up getting a little bit more aggressive, the one thing to keep in mind is how to do that without overcommitting anything on your rotation and making it bad for yourself. Because now you're going to see, all right, you guys have gotten chippy, you've gotten mean, you've gone for the demos. We're going to do something similar. This one will waterfall, but actually will be taken away. That was a great stall and position from the backboard, defensively sound for Howard. The Dragons will try and make a counter and force Dutchman to be able to roll on back. Fuzzy Wuzzy is in the corner first. He plays it as an air, but will be unable to find it to the next option. This one will be a big boom the other way, and 1 goal lead still stands for the Dragons.
Yeah, we already seen what one lead can definitely lead to, as we saw in game number 1 for LVC, but now Howard CC has the opportunity to take advantage here as Arrow will send this one out and towards the side, back towards Logs and Trees, who has plenty of boost to work with to get the follow-up touch, but nothing much doing there. Magars is going to clear this one back and now puts a shot on, but not in. Howard CC will clear that one out.
That was a good boost steal. That's a bouncer. That will be very well read by New Bulls, but Logs and Trees will be bumped. Means Arrow and Logs will both be in the same zone. Pipe to pipe, post to post. This one will go from coast to coast. Logs and Trees trying to shut down Fuzzy Wuzzy, and we're approaching halftime of game number 3. And last time around, we had a 4-game run after the first team dropped 0-2. It'll be happening all over again, but the Dragons are currently under duress. The shot coming forward. Magars, he is just short, maybe a follow. Fuzzy Wuzzy will tie us up.
There we go. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. And that has been the offense from LVC Blue. Constantly hitting all sides of the net. The crossbar, the sidebar, the other sidebar, every defender on Howard CC. But finally, they find the back of the net and they tie us up at 1.
Go forward again. Magars has been that pop-up player to at least open up opportunities. If he's not making the strike, he's setting it up for his team. Frenchie can't quite bend the angle. He'd have to be able to have a jackhammer to be able to get through that wall, as solid as it is. Logs and Trees to the passing play. Great disruption by Magars. Oh, the 1-2-3 can't occur. He's found an open space. Noob to the corner. Magars will have plenty of boost and not a lot of time, though, as Arrow will slap him straight in the face. We're sub 2 minutes here, Captain Ahsoka, and this one, you know, it's starting to be a little bit of deja vu. We are primed for a possible overtime, which is exactly how the turns tabled in the last series.
And you got to be careful about those turns tables because those tables keep on turning. As now we see LVC on the offense, but it will get cleared out by Howard CC, Logs and Trees. Now with the swish and flick to send this one off of their teammate and off of the back wall. A big opportunity for Howard CC, and the demo meta rings true as now Howard CC has 2 on the board.
Another meta is, you know, going to the interior wall of your of your goal and just kind of getting stuck. I understand that way too much. You go the ball cam, you get just kind of glued in there, and you're like, oh no, what do I do? Well, here's what do. Dragons, they'll be up 2-1. A minute and a quarter remaining LVC, they got to be able to connect with one another again. They would love to go up into match point immediately, but the Dragons are trying to rewrite this story.
And here we go. Just over a minute to go. LVC still has plenty of time to make it happen. We've seen 1 goals occur with literally no seconds on the clock. So still plenty of opportunity for LVC to try and equalize. As now this one will go off the backboard for Magars, who's going to send this one off the side, followed up by Frenchie. And now looking to put this one on, but it will not. Arrow is there to get the clear, and New Ball continuing that aggression is going to get another demo as they will clear this one out. But now an opportunity will get rejected as the floater will go up high and go in for Arrow from all the way back when. They go up 2 goals now.
Gotta talk about the initial touch. Logs and Trees was able to get that first touch to deflect it, and then it was Arrow who boomed it away, and Logs and Trees, after keeping that would-be tying shot from the Dutchman from going in, was there to secure it if it was necessary. He had the momentum to do so, and the momentum now has shifted over to the Dragons, but hold that thought! Talk about a flash of brilliance. Magars puts us within 1 again.
You said it several times. Magars has been the step-up player for LVC and now showing up when they need them most. 3-2, LVC are back within striking distance and still have a little bit of time to make it happen.
Oh boy. Does this come down to the wire? Do we go to overtime? We get to see one way or another. Magars has come up large and will come out to the midfield. Fuzzy Wuzzy and Frenchie are not answering with the same pace, though, and they have to be able to answer to the Dragons. Nice pressure. Frenchie doesn't have any boost. He sees Magars. He's out in open space. They have to delete him. Can he yeet him? Oh, he do not deplete him. This finds the ground and will be giving Howard CC, that community college, their first game win 2-1 before we head to game 4.
Oh no, Monkey Man, this is starting to look a little familiar. I'm getting a little deja vu from what we saw in game number 1. Of course, they still had the lead over there for the side of LVC. They're up in the series 2-1, but now that Howard CC has a taste of victory, they got a little bit of momentum on their side. It's going to be interesting to see how things play out as we head into the next matchup, into the next game.
Yeah, true. Momentum is such a huge thing mentally, mechanically, and just being able to overwhelm your opponent. Howard had this kind of pressure a lot during the previous couple of games, but it was so brief. But we got to see those tiny little hints of, okay, this is what they can do. Can they do it in a multiplier? Well, guess what? The multiple was 3. That was the winning factor. Let's see if LVC will be able to strike back, but can the Dragons tie up this series into game 4?
Well, let's see. Logs and Tree is able to get that demo on Fuzzy Wuzzy. As now the shot will come through from Magars, but it is declined as Logs and Trees will send this one back in towards LVC territory. Now stuck in the corner. It gets flipped out to go towards the middle. The shot is on and in from Logs and Trees, and Howard CC will get the first goal here in game number 4.
What a setup. Beating everyone on that corner. The entirety of the defense of the Flying Dutchmen were grounded into that zone. They're like, all right, if I can beat all 3 of these guys and get it around the pipe, well, guess what? It's an open net. It's free real estate, baby. And there are going to be homeowners today. Arrow, can he get one more? Oh, that's a great take. And Magars was able to make that deflection. That's going to go to Logs and Trees one more time off the crossbar. But Magars with a better approach. First 40 seconds have been a melee, and so far have been owned by the Dragons.
And once again, Howard CC will get that early momentum, but LVC Blue is going to get scored on again. Logs and Trees coming through with an absolute banger off of the touch from the ceiling. And honestly, I don't know if there was much that the defense could do to stop that.
Yeah, no, that was going to be a banger. You have to make that just attack. I mean, he was going to bounce that in, so he was going down. The best you can do is be able to apparently get it from the kickoff. Magars, the difference maker, will be able to get another one. We've already had 3 goals in a fantastic flurry here in the first minute.
Yeah, absolutely. This is probably the highest scoring match we've seen so far. Granted, it's only 3 goals, but still, not even a minute has gone. So if it continues at this pace, we're going to see many more highlight reel plays to come here in match number 4.
Howard, the Dragons, and these guys take control. They allowed 1 from the kickoff, but that really doesn't spell much of what LVC can do. Needs some consistency because not a kickoff goal does a team make. That is just some focus, but that's Arrow. able to get back defensively, get that away from being buried at the low side corner of the pipe. Now Newbull, oh, what a flick. He has got a wide open margin. He's got to give it over to a teammate. Arrow, the squishy save is a slow float, but the third will approach it. A big one as Frenchie will dig it out.
Yeah, that was extremely risky, and I gotta say, it probably took every single player from LVC to play that defense accordingly. Had there been even one player absent out of the defensive position, that would have been a goal for Howard CC, but LVC managed to keep the deficit only within one as we approach 3 minutes remaining in match number 4.
It's now Howard Community College doing a really good job of what was happening to them early on, as Lebanon Valley are struggling to just make less readable passes. I mean, that was a great arc. It was just a matter of being efficient enough to go and get the touch. Logs and Trees will be at the near side post after this rotation, but Fuzzy Wuzzy will be able to find them just as both bit at the near side pipe and post, and they made the most of it.
Again, look at the read here coming off the ceiling. I don't know what it is about all these ceiling touch shots that we are seeing. Like, as soon as you get the read off the ceiling, it's gonna go in. It's just so hard to read when you're on the defensive side of that. And LVC giving Howard CC a taste of their own medicine and now equalizing here 2-2 as we approach halftime.
I'm glad to see the flash of these strikers really coming out to play, because I was wondering where the offense may end up tilting back and forth, but I think LVC had watched the previous series. They realized, okay, we cannot let Howard get back into this series. That is too much of a dynamic momentum shift for us to recover from. And Fuzzy Wuzzy, can he get it? That's a big save by Arrow. That was on target. He decides, you know what? I'm going to put it off my own post instead of waiting on my teammate. Great decision making as we approach 2 minutes remaining here in game number 4.
Yeah, probably the only time you want to hit the crossbar is when you're shooting at your own net. So kudos for being able to use your own post to play some defense. And now at the 2-minute mark, LVC is going to relinquish possession as the banger will come through from Frenchie, but the clear comes out towards the mid. It's going to thread the net and finally go in. Magars is able to get the 1-goal lead in favor of LVC.
What a passing play and a bump on a Newbulls just to be able to add insult to injury. Oh my goodness, LVC. They've been able to turn this into a 2-goal turn. And Flying Dutchman, they're flying high. They're trying to be able to find that match point early and put the Dragons in the hot seat.
Now with a minute and 45, the return volley will come through from Howard CC. We just can't stay at odds for too long. These two teams refuse to go uneven. We are back tied yet again, Monkey Man.
This is wild. This is an absolute shootout. I love it. I love these kinds of games because I never know what the final possession is going to look like. We could end up 5-5 for all we know and go to OT and end up with 11 goals on the charter. Right now, we're just short of half of that. As we go over into the opposite side, wall, Newbull rise to the occasion. Can he rise, be able to get this touch? He does, but he has no extra boost. Calling up reinforcements. It's Logs and Trees. It's Logs looking for threes. He's trying to get a hat trick of his own. Arrow can't quite leave alone Fuzzy Wuzzy. He has no extra boost, and he's now just chasing dimes to be able to get this one out of here. 1:15. Is it going to be one final possession? It could be a big challenge, and that bouncer will go through for Fuzzy Wuzzy.
I don't know what was better here, the pass or the shot. Look at the touch from Frenchie, getting the dunk and then hitting it right on the button, getting that waterfall drop to drop right in front of Fuzzy Wuzzy, and then Fuzzy Wuzzy, of course, getting the bounce shot to put that one under the defender, as now LVC will take a lead over Howard CC.
Oh boy, we've seen a lot of goals, too many almost. Believe that these defenses exist. To the backboard, gotta make a read. Oh, and there is one touch. Oh, so necessary by Frenchie. He undercuts it to be able to get around the forthcoming attacker, because that was a miss by Magars on the pressure situation. Arrow giving over to Logs and Trees. He waits it out as Newbull will be flying in. 40 seconds coming up on the docket. Fuzzy Wuzzy, he has Magars as an option, but Logs and Trees with a challenge. Newbull, he sees an open net. He sees elevation, and he sees himself on top, but the score does not reflect that. Half-minute remaining here. Captain at Soka. Match point available for the Dutchman if they keep this up.
Absolutely, and I gotta say, Howard CC is playing absolutely phenomenal. Normally, in this situation, on the side of LVC, I would say run the clock, buy as much time as you can, but you can't. Howard CC is playing so speedy, you have no time to waste. You can't run the clock. You're too busy playing defense, as LVC is able to clear this one up high, and now Logs and Trees looking for a teammate down low, doesn't have enough room to work with, and the final seconds will tick away, and LVC will put the ball in the dirt to make it hurt for Howard, as they will go up 3-1 in the series scoreline.
Howard Community College, they're looking up at the banner that says how many game wins have occurred between these two teams. They not only hear the tick clock to end that game, but it is now ticking even faster for them, as they are now having to face match point after match point after match point that are available for the Flying Dutchmen, who have this one in control. They just have to be able to finish out this series. Finishing a match and a game is the mark of a true champion. Do we think that they can do it? Because that one was a lot of goals.
Oh, absolutely. Even like throughout the first minute, when we had our first 3 goals on the board after just a minute had passed, I was thinking to myself, this is going to be a high-scoring game. This is going to be insane. But I wouldn't be surprised heading into this one if they don't slow things up a bit, if they don't try and change the pace, at least for the side of Howard CC.
Go in as we go to where everyone begins their Rocket League journey, Beckwith Park. This is where all training packs really kind of stand up. This is a return to tradition. So let's see who's going to be able to rattle it off the chain link fence, be able to bring all those feel goods about when they first started this game to fruition. Maybe grab a trophy, a medal, a win, a strike, a save. Able to utilize every bit of these mechanics in the first 30 seconds. Both these teams and schools just going at each other.
Absolutely, and already the passing coming out. What was that pitch? That was absolutely insane, and it almost found the back of the net. Lucky for LVC, it did not, but they will put it in on the other side of the pitch, and they will score first off of something that can only be said is maybe not so much calculated.
You know what? There's calculations that are definitely happening. I don't think it's the ones that they're running the math on. I've got a TI-83. It's shrugging its shoulders. I am too. We're looking at each other, but they're able to make some speed and some striking out of it, and that's a big demo. I need to see some physicality out of the Dragons. I want to see them be able to get in the face of LVC. Last time these two teams met, LVC lost 1-3 against Howard. Howard being the higher seed and the higher velocity. Can they be able to prove it again? They got to be able to start trekking back in this game number 5. Where LVC is still in control.
Now Arrow trying to get this one out of their half, but Fuzzy Wuzzy is there to put that one right back down. Is now Magars is going to send this one up and towards the side. Had Frenchie there, but got beat by Howard CC. Now Logs of Trees is going to be playing towards the back, gives the ball up to Frenchie. Now the 50-50 comes through, and LVC Blue just doing a really good job at keeping Howard CC confined inside of their own territory.
Logs and Trees has been kind of a pop-off. We've seen that be traded for that who's really kind of acting in that best method for the side of Howard, and I haven't seen that consistency from all 3 players at the exact same time. Maybe Logs will be able to do a little bit more. Arrow, though, has had a few of those moments to be the hero, but they got to make sure that they don't end up as a 0, because right now, LVC with this one up, that's the only goal they need to be able to get any of these wins. 3 minutes now, as 2 have ticked off the clock. Time is ticking for the Dragons to strike. Double tap, you bet your bottom dollar.
Yeah, that was nothing short of impressive. From one side of the field all the way to the other, being able to get the read off the backboard to put it down and in with nobody home. We now have ourselves a tie ball game, all fair and all squared at 1 apiece.
Oh boy. These guys are going to make sure that we remember all the good offense, some of the defense, a little suspect. Frenchie will get a flip reset. That's Magars. Waiting, lying in the shadows, seeing what may come. Frenchie gets a demo, and he's able to open up things, and that one will be the one that gives an open lane to victory, at least for that good strike. Look at Magars go.
Oh yeah, this is the definition of finesse. Don't get me wrong. Homie went up there and was able to get past 2 defenders and then come down to complete the flip reset, get the touch, and put it on and in. They do not stay tied for too long. LVC Blue will once again take the lead over Howard CC.
Oh, the Flying Dutchman. You can see the podium. You can see the winner's circle. They just have to make sure they keep their vision 2020. Fuzzy Wuzzy will be challenged. As they go forward again, Magar is taking control from the midfield line. Everyone is just dying. They're dead. There's an open net. Oh, but he can't make the angle. A tough shot. Bit of a narrow angle at that. Logs and Trees trying to get faster, trying to get stronger, trying to be able to get his team moving forward. Arrow will delete Frenchie. Arrow is on target. It's a beam and Arrow. It's in from downtown. We're tied at 2.
And there we go. Once again, we are all tied yet again at 2 apiece. Fuzzy Wuzzy nearly getting there, almost got the tip of their nose on the ball, but could not get there in time. It will be another tie ball game with 2 minutes and 4 on the clock. And now Fuzzy Wuzzy is back on the attack.
Oof. Luckily for the side of the Dragons, he does not get a better strike. Logs and Trees just puts himself in a good position, and that's going to be a dig, but no! Magar's with the putback. I want to see this on replay. Frenchie went up to try and make a dime of it, but it was a double commit between Arrows and Logs and Trees, and that's just a free net, and Magar takes a good strike.
And then there you have it. We say this all the time in the Rocket League community. Sometimes the best passes come off of missed shots, especially when you're forcing the double commit. When you take that shot, you put it on target, you are forcing the defense to react, and you are forcing mistakes to be made. And LVC Blue was able to take advantage and take the lead yet again over Howard CC.
Seeing this go 3-3, we just need to see if it will go again, because the Dragons are running out of time. And they have to have the patience to be able to make these ones work. It's a great challenge by New Bull. Gonna go over to Logs and Trees, but Frenchie now has the pace. He's gonna be overridden by Arrow. As this aerial play will be able to be won by Magars. Secure the net, secure the strike. Logs and Trees will take it away from Frenchie. They're starting to sweat. You better bet that this one's going to be a great set. Will they be able to get it on target? No. Arrow, it will be stolen away. Logs and Trees with the turn, but they will have to turn and burn. And now it's a foot race. Do they put one on in? No, not yet.
I gotta say, it looked like New Ball almost gave away a goal to LVC, but luckily for Howard CC, that shot was way off target, but Fuzzy Wuzzy gets up there without a care to put this one on and in off of the 50-50, and now LVC Blue have a 2-goal cushion over Howard CC.
That one could be the backbreaker. The Dragons have to get soaring and roaring, or this one could be done. Lebanon Valley in control. Frenchie, he's come alive here in game number 5, trying to put this one away 4-1 and be a champion here in Challengers White. New Bull, oh, it'll be stolen from him by Magars with a big save, consistently making them go all the way back to their back half. Magars with a challenge, he will win it, gives it to Fuzzy. No, Fuzzy Wuzzy says, you know what, Magars, you earned it.
What happened here? I think, I don't know. It was like you have all 3 defenders from Howard CC, and they all got beat at the same time. I just didn't think that was going to happen. I honestly didn't think one player could overcome 3 defenders all at once. Kudos to LVC Blue for coming up with that one. It's just, I don't see a triple commit going down by the wayside. I don't see that happening again anytime soon, but I guess we don't need it to. LVC Blue now in a commanding lead with the final 10 seconds left on the clock.
Championships are built by going through every obstacle in your way and by finding vengeance upon an opponent that you could not win on that day. Well, guess what? This is the day of the Dutchmen. They're flying high. Lebanon Valley, they win, and they take it 4-1 to take this championship for themselves.
Well, you heard the Monkey Man say it themselves. There you have it. That will be the end of the game, end of the series, and GG's all around to both teams involved, but especially to LVC Blue. They will be your Rocket League Grand Final champions here today at the NECC. And what a game, Monkey Man.
Oh, yeah, this was a lot of offense, and it was going all the way to who had the final best opportunity, that best shot, that best last possession. Well, it was the likes of LVC. The Dragons had some good opportunities and chances, but then they started really panicking in those moments, and then they were just being outright beaten in the zone. Couldn't escape it. But you know what you guys can't escape is a player interview, as we will be having the Lebanon Valley Blue team come into the booth with us. Stick around. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the NECC. It is Championship Sunday, and we have already seen a couple of them go into the books. I'm Hale Mugman in the booth, alongside the lovely, the wonderful, and the always awesome Captain at Soka. And of course, we are also bringing you some big news with the likes of your winner from this Challengers White Division. It is Lebanon Valley Blue, but it's also Magars, who's going to join us in the booth. Hello, Magars. Maybe he's in disguise. I don't know. Is that Magars? I can't quite tell.
Hello, everybody.
Strange.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can. Thank you so much, Magars, for being with us. Congratulations. You go 4-1 in 5 games over the likes of Howard Community College, able to exact some revenge after a regular season loss. How are you feeling on the day?
We're feeling just as we expected to feel. We knew we were going to win this game. We don't lose to Howard no more. They washed. LVC on top, baby.
Absolutely. I gotta say, I wish I had the support, there's somebody to just come up and rub my shoulders during a cast. That's a whole lot of support coming there from the crew on the LVC. But with that being said, Magars, I gotta ask you, my guy, we noticed that you were definitely a strong striker for your team. Is that your role naturally on that team, or were you just popping off today?
Dude, as always, I lead the team in goals because of my play style. I'm a little aggressive, but I'm leading the goal team by like 40 goals. Let's be honest. No, everybody played absolutely wonderful today. I was feeling myself on offense. I think everybody was. I think my teammates behind me can say they felt pretty good too. Our shooting was great. We found the back of the net way more than Howard did. So here we are.
You're in this apparently witness protection program, so we're so glad that you're able to really hide your identity, but you didn't hide it on the pitch as being that high-flying striker. Let's talk about your teammates who are hanging out behind you, and also let's talk about your team overall throughout this NECC season. I mean, you were able to go 6-3 in regular play, and then you just kind of came alive in this bracket to be able to take down Howard. I mean, early on, you guys were just in control. Howard kind of bit back. Was there any big game focus to get this revenge to be able to take them down here in the grand finals?
In all honesty, we're actually really good friends with Howard. So we play them, scrim them all the time. We know exactly how they play. But Fuzzy just came on. We played most of the season with Bichettes, with Fuzzy as our sub. That's Fuzzy. No, that's Fuzzy. We made a roster change. We really feeling ourselves, and they really don't have any experience against us with Fuzzy, so we play a little differently with him. So I think that really gives us the edge, whereas we know how they're going to play every single game.
Absolutely. Gotta love those roster changes because they definitely stir things up, especially a team that you're very familiar with. But with that being said, we couldn't help but notice the difference of trends between each game. Some games, you guys would win 1-0, and then the next game, we have 7 goals on the board. What is the change of pace that happens? Was that deliberate, or was that just the flow of the game?
It's definitely the flow of the game. We'd be shocked because Howard would score on us and be like, "Oh no, I guess we got to score." And we just go and score a goal real quick, and it kind of just kept going back and forth. And we came out on top more than they did. But yeah, it was a very fast series. We always like playing Howard because of that. But yeah.
Yeah, you guys were able to play fast, control the pace, and you let one drop from you, but otherwise you're able to control everything about this. You took it 4-1. You took it over the Dragons. I didn't know, Flying Dutchman, Mr. LVC, Mr. Magars out here. How do you guys feel, and what kind of shout-outs you got for you, your fans, your club, your program, everything, the boys behind you too, and you yourself? What do you got to say for everyone at home?
We feel absolutely ecstatic. I would like to shout out personally my teammates and coaches for coaching us and playing with me through the entire season, winning it all. I would also like to thank my mother for putting me in this position today. I'd also like to shout out Arrow, as he once said so infamously to Hood. Out. Oh.
Wow.
Sorry.
Congratulations. Wow. That's a statement to be made. Congratulations, Magars. You and your team laid down the heat. You did it in 5. You stayed alive and you're able to thrive. Congratulations on a wonderful season and a championship win. You guys deserve it.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Oh, Captain Soka, these guys are wonderful. Love everywhere, love in the chat, love to everyone out there. But you know what? We're gonna be moving into yet another championship coming up. Those guys are jokers and great. I don't know who that was, but they said Magars. I don't know if we can trust them with the disguise.
I don't know. For all we know, that might not have been Magar's. And they, to the one player they pointed to and says that was Fuzzy Wuzzy, they didn't look too fuzzy for me. I'm a little bit sus.
Well, you know what? Whether the identities are known or unknown, everyone's names are getting known that are able to win these trophies. We got another one to hand out, but who will be able to make it to the finish? You'll get to find out for our next grand final coming up right after this.
Well, hello and welcome back to more Grand Finals Rocket League action right here at the NECC. Once again, I am your host, Captain at Soka, joined in the booth by none other than Hail Monkey Man. Hail Monkey Man, how are we feeling going into this next matchup?
Well, we've seen how a trade of momentum can be stopped and how it cannot be stopped at all. It's a matter of how your defense will be able to answer and how the offense is clicking to the final minute of play. A couple of winners have been able to prove that they can take it all the way, but we haven't seen anyone go all the way in these best of sevens to that game 7. In fact, we will find ourselves in the midst of another one. It's the Challengers Black Grand Final Divisions. It's University of Rio Grande and Miami University. It's the Red Hawk versus the Red Storm. This will be just about all the Reds.
And here we go. It's the Duck 69 to get beat there in the midfield as Jonk is going to hit this one towards the side. And now Legal there to get the save to clear it away for Miami as this will head back off the backboard again. Now Captain Clutch getting towards the side, gets past one defender and past the other, has an opportunity for Rio Grande as they miss the opportunity. No shot there and no goal. We're still 0-0.
Oh goodness! I'm wondering, do you guys happen to know each other in the ranks? A couple of captains around the same program right now. I don't know. Are you guys both vying for a major position?
All captains are familiar with each other, and all captains pay homage as well. Be on the lookout for Captain Clutch.
He could clutch up. And so far, in our first minute of this best of 7, a guarantee of at least 4 games to be played, and a lot of pressure here returning from the Red Hawks. Captain Clutch able to pick it up from the midfield line. Jay Spiel trying to extend it over. Captain Clutch will have that secondary connection, and we've had a lot of great passing today. Not a whole lot of it, though. It's really individual plays, a little physicality that opens things up, and we see that physical play that comes in later in these matches as, you figure out the offense and the regular striking. I want to see if that starts earlier.
Now, you see, Hail Monkey Man, I'm actually more of a fan of the pass plays. I often say pass plays win the games. As a matter of fact, my favorite medal in Rocket League is the Savior medal. But with that being said, we have seen a little bit of a lackluster of the 1v1 solo play mechanics as well. Not that I'm complaining, but I'm just surprised we haven't seen more of those solo mechanics really come out so far in, like, all day.
Yeah, and it's a matter of being either alpha magars or seeing someone from afar and seeing what they can do. That's a great pass, and that's made off an opportunity from a physical opener, and that's going to be the Redhawks on top here inside the first 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, the Duck just went duck hunting, was able to get that demo and clear the way there, and of course line up the shot for their teammate to come and put that one on and in. Miami Red will get the first goal of game number 1.
Well, they may have another opportunity. This one will find itself very wide from a kickoff rotation, which are always the most chaotic in those first 6 to 7 seconds. That is on target, and the Duck will dunk it the other direction. Another pickup, Jonk, and he's sent this one adjunct over to Legal But No. Not a mouse. He's chasing after it, and Captain Clutch come in to be able to serve this over as another opportunity for Red Storm to be able to move on their own half. Really haven't found a lot of just kind of velocity behind their counterattacks. They've found some space, but not a lot of time with the ball, and better communication's got to come out. Power flick to force Jay Spiel to get that one off target.
I also think Miami Red is just doing an insane job at rotating back towards the midfield and getting those 100 boosts. So I think that's why whenever we see Rio Grande try and make an attempt on the net, they don't have a lot of boost, and there's not a lot of force behind their shots.
Oh, but this one goes from pipe to pipe and will come off. Ooh, one of those opportunities, and Redhawks, they're starting to sweat at least a little bit. I don't know if a bird can sweat. I think it does like a whole thing that requires me to have a biology degree. I wonder if any of these guys have one. I don't know if they're trying to be able to get one as a major. We'll get to find out about that later. Not a mouse. Early leap on the midfield line. Captain Clutch is looking for boost and ball. He's going to leave that boost, actually, for a teammate, but they may never have the chance. Rotation will come about, and another time today, we all have one goal, but let's build upon it. Let's find a second with just 90 seconds to go.
And really, that's what it's all about. You get the 1-goal lead, and now you're going to follow up and get 2, and you have a little bit of insurance. But once again, it's the pass plays that win the games. And the Duck, once again, getting involved, getting that pass from out the corner, leaving it for their teammate to go and get the shot. And now we have that 2-goal insurance in favor of Miami Red.
It's going to be Redhawks on top for right now, building a multiplier on their lead, 1.25 minutes. And that's an open net. Everyone pressed up. That's a good interception. Jonk will find 3. And this is just a Red Storm being caught out. You see Captain Clutch press up as soon as like, okay, Jay Spiel, he got that win. We need some more offense in a hurry. But if you get beat in that spacing, then there's just a free open net to shoot on.
Absolutely. 3-0 now in favor of Miami Red, and honestly, that might just be too little too late for Rio Grande. But with that being said, 1 minute is a whole lot of time in Rocket League here. So let's see if Rio Grande can try and make a comeback with what little time they have left.
The Duck has been the glue that's really been putting this team together on Miami Red, and they will have another dunk as an on mouse able to bring that one over. Jonk, it is going to float nearby. Good find by Jay Spiel. Legal, trying to drop a legal contract for maybe another win, but no, that's going to go to the top level. Jonk over into the corner, and this is kind of cruise control for cool right now for Miami. Hold that thought. Oh, and another one will come off the interior pipe. It has been so close yet so far for the Red Storm, but so far they're nothing more than just a little bit of wind.
Yeah, unfortunate for Rio Grande. And honestly, I think at this point, it's safe to call. I'm not going to, rub my crystal bald-headed brain to figure out that Miami Red is going to be taking this one in a game number 1 with the final 10 seconds on the board. They still hold on to the 3-0 lead and what looks to be a shutout for Rio Grande. But a last-second effort will go by the wayside, and Miami Red will take the dub in game number 1.
Beautiful way to control it, and apparently Junk is John K. But I do look. I think you should just embrace Junk. Like that's a pretty cool name. A lot of junk in the trunk, especially off of all that pressure that they brought to the goal, and were able to really extend those offensive plays. And we really never saw the winds begin to swirl and all the storm begin to go forward from the Red Storm. They kind of stayed in their own half and briefly found some success around the pipes, but never through.
I don't know. If I was playing Rocket League, I don't want people calling me junk. That's almost like having your name be T-Rash. It's like, no, it's pronounced trash. Like, no, you don't want to have that going against you. So no, go ahead and keep it as, you know, just anything but junk, I think, as we get ready to head into the next one. Already is a great game coming out for Miami Red. They were able to win in a dominating fashion, 3-0. And honestly, it's really going to be up to the opposition to try and come up with some type of counterattack to measure the offense that's coming out from Miami Red.
I mean, we're going to be going over everything that we've seen so far. A lot of extension of these plays and a lot of connections of these have been by Duck. I do like what Duck is doing, being able to either get some demos or be able to open up space and be able to control these into the perimeter zones, which, you know, we've had not a whole lot of passing per se, but just pursuance after a player makes an opening and very quickly. If you do not outright go for passing plays, then you have to be able to have that secondary approach from your teammate. Just bang, bang. I love bang bang plays because, you know, it forces the replay crew to be like, what just happened? And then we get to see the cameraman's head spin and everything else go forward. So if we get to see maybe just taking away that early approach from Miami, then of course Rio Grande, which, you know, you guys, I say it a different way. We all do. Maybe they'll have another chance here in game 2.
Well, here we go. Let's see if the Red Storm can answer back against Miami Red. Is now Captain Clutch is going to be able to send this one to the Miami Red territory, only to be answered by the Duck. And now Legal going up high, getting what we'll just call a tactical whiff, as not much doing there as the shot will hit off the sidebar. And once again, the counter attack from Jay Spiel will be on and in. The Red Storm will go up in game number 2, 1-0.
Whew, Jay Spiel, that's a big deal. What a great read as that one is punched to the midfield, and he was just barely in an upfield rotation. Not much of a cherry pick, but definitely a pick to be played. Uh-oh, is this one going to come from John K? You betcha bottom dollar. And we're tied up in the first 25 seconds.
Yeah, well, what they say, easy come, easy go. Well, here we go. It's John K to find the back of the net off of the kickoff, and again, that was just a great kickoff. You know, sometimes you can predict them, sometimes you can't, but the cheat up will fall in favor of Miami Red, and it just falls that way sometimes. Yet again, Legal, again with another nice kickoff, but it will not go in this time as the defense from the Red Storm managed to hold on.
Oof. Eagle had a lot of punch behind that one, but it will end up going very, very wide as another counterplay could get formed. Red Storm moving on in. Captain Clutch will leave it for Jay Spiel, who goes from one corner to the next. He's trying to disrupt, look for any extra boost, but that rotation just kind of finds a bit of emptiness. John K, the pickup. Captain Clutch, he has an opportunity, but will burn through boost just to get back down to the ground. There's a bit of a double commit that goes over to Jay Spiel. Another opportunity over to Mr. Captain Clutch, but it will be Jay Spiel! Oh, the man's a big deal. Look at the shooting.
Honestly, I don't know at what other angle could you put this to have this one go in. Jay Spiel literally 50th the crossbar what looked like twice to get that one down and in, literally squeezing the ball into the back of the net. There's really not much you could do for Miami Red to block that one.
No, you had everyone in correct positions, but unless you have all three players hanging out inside the goal and forming a fence post, you're not going to stop them, and you can't stop them. That is a hat trick inside the first 72 seconds for Jay Spiel, and the Red Storm is finally just showcasing some offense out of him.
Also got to give a little credit to Captain Clutch for getting that pass out of the corner and teeing up their teammate to put that one on and in. Jay Spiel, again, getting another shot on the board, and now they have the 2-goal lead over Miami Red, as now Jay Spiel is going to be taking this one out, gets the follow-up touch, as this one will go down and cleared out. And now Anonymous is in the retreat, trying to find a teammate in Captain Clutch, who will get a miss. Ooh. And the save from Jay Spiel will hold off the attack from Miami Red.
He's not just a great offensive man, he's a good defensive man. John K will be able to pick this one up before the threat comes forth, and guess who was already there threatening to put a 4 through? It was Jay Spiel. I've seen this player through a lot of different league play and some tournament play, and he's been having this one all day. The first game may have been surrendered by Rio Grande, but they're unable to see themselves do anything but succeed here in game number 2. Sub 3 minutes, a turn in. Captain Clutch, he makes the most of it, and that's now a 3-goal lead.
I told you to watch out for Captain Clutch. All captains know each other. We meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Captain Clutch is nothing to wave a stick at. You give them an opportunity, they're going to take advantage of it. And just then, they were literally ice skating between the defense and were able to get past not one but two defenders. All the while, Miami Red looked like they had no idea what was going on. Now the Red Storm are going to go up 4-1 in this game number 2.
Who's responsible for snacks at the captain conferences? I'm wondering about that. How do you guys decide?
Me. It's clearly me. I'm the heavy-set ball guy. I have to bring the snacks.
Hey, but you know what? That means you get the good snacks, because you don't leave it to maybe a separate captain who just got promoted to get the lesser of them. You don't want any like gluten-free stuff. No.
Absolutely not. The king of snacks, however, at the meetings is Captain Crunch.
Oh, true. Yeah, that guy. I think he's very popular. Even I know him at my little small rank down here in the enlisted division. But for right now, 210. Oh, that was actually an opportunity for the Redhawks to be able to get be able to lessen this differential. Big takeaway from Anonymous. Jay Spiel will be bopped away. Sub 2 minutes. We've got all of a minute of play with no extra scoring, but Red Storm been able to hold down the fort and hold out the Red Hawks. That's a chance, and that 50-50 will never come about.
Nope, and it looks like, again, the Red Storm is just going to hold on to this 3-goal lead, as we see Captain Clutch has all the time in the world to sit back and play defense. And at what point, you got to ask yourself, when will Miami Red start to get a little bit physical, as it looks like the Red Storm are just holding their own on their goal line and refusing any type of offensive pressure to come from Miami.
Yeah, the only type of physicality we've seen is, I guess, right now, to put this into a one-on-one. John K. Oh, he's winning the foot race, and illegal. Very much needed to be able to put that one away and give the Redhawks a chance. Look at this move. Look at this to be able to get it all the way to Jay Spiel, but he's dunked on.
It was only a matter of time. You could only come up deep and get these saves on defense so many times before you're just going to get bumped and demoed out of the way. It's going to happen eventually, and Miami Red came through big with that physical play and now are back within striking distance, only down 2 against the Red Storm with just over a minute left to go.
105. We get to see if Redhawks can, in fact, come back into this game. If a drop-off. John K. to legal. That's a big 50-50 win, and he's able to get that ramped over to Captain Clutch, who was in an awkward position at the near side post. Sub a minute. The Duck has not been a big factor here in this game. We've seen a lot of success for the Red Storm. There just hasn't been as much pressure playing that's been extended for Miami Red. 40 seconds now coming up and less. And Red Storm just has to keep this one out of their half and keep this one all focused and calm.
And here we go. We are approaching the final 30 seconds. If Miami Red has hopes to try and equalize, they're going to have to do it now. That pass might just be it, but it gets deflected and goes up high. And now the cleared from Anonymous will send this one back towards the midfield. And now Jay Spiel is able to clear this one out back into Miami territory as Jay Spiel gets the 50 down over to Captain Clutch, who's going to get the soft touch. But now it's nearly all but over, and the Red Storm will take game number 2 over Miami Red.
Oh, you can't get 2 points. I wish they opened up something to be able to make that happen, but there is no 3-point line. It is all one and done. 4-2. Playing with a little bit of airtime, maybe some momentum, maybe some extra fun. This eventually will find grass to pass upon, and we go with a tied series. Maybe one extra exclamation point from Captain Clutch. Why not be able to get one more goal?
That's just rule 0. Keep the ball up as long as you can, or until you can put it into the back of the net and get a consolation goal to take home with you on the road. It will be the Red Storm eventually, finally, getting the dub and solidifying their win in game number 2 over Miami Red.
So you're a rule 0 guy instead of a rule 1 guy.
Well, okay, let me put it this way. I am a rule 1 guy because clearly I'm an old school Rocket League player all the way back in Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Battle Cards is where I got my start. But, eventually with the times changing and, we go on with the argument over and over and over again, I'm willing to concede to rule 1 being not breaking the interlock and then just having rule 0 be the 0 seconds on the clock because it makes sense. So I just don't want to have the argument any longer. It's said, it's done, and we all know what the rules of Rocket League are.
You know, you're right. You gotta let the community flow with it. But I'm one of those old heads in the other capacity that I argue so much against it. All right, anything I refuse for things to change. All right, I do not like change. I stand in the way of it, and you know things will change though continuously as well through this series as we have an ebb and flow now. This is the first time today at Soka that we have just not a 2-0 lead into a series. We're tied up 1-1, so we go into this and some great casters out there usually. All right, we're now in best of 5 territory. Got to be able to get 3 more before your opponent can get this exact same number, and this will be a trade of offensive movement. We've seen the Red Storm come up big, and Jay Spiel, they started locking him out and locking him down later in that game. I want to see how he answers and if he'll be just as fast after this into game number 3.
What's interesting to me is that neither of these games have been very close. They've been one-sided. In the first game, it was one-sided in favor of Miami. In the second, it was one-sided in favor of the Red Storm. So it's just really interesting to see how quickly that the tides can change between these two teams. And granted that they're all nice and even, one apiece in the overall scoreline, we just haven't seen that reflect in game. So I'm wondering if that will change in game number 3 and maybe we see a closer scoreline.
And that's going to come down to making sure that you meet in the midfield, meet at those larger perimeter shots. You have so many opportunities that come from this from both teams so far. It was Deduck that was opening things up, and Jay Spiel that was taking things from Captain Clutch. That 1-2 combo was working really, really well, and we'll get to see if that will turn up right now. Game number 3, we head to Neo Tokyo, one of my favorite maps, not the new filtered version of it, the old school, the OG, maybe not the underpass version. That would be like the OG.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, how OG are we talking? But guess what? Anonymous is going to score first for the Red Storm, and already they will get some early momentum in their favor as we see Anonymous just put that one on in, and no help coming from Miami. It's going to be a 1-goal lead in the favor of the Red Storm.
This is continued. I think, what we have, like 4 or 5 goals, 6 goals now between the last 2 games, trying to outstretch the likes of the defense from Red Storm. Rio Grande will be able to respond at the goal line. Miami getting a bit feistier. I need them to get as lethal as they were before, be able to find that efficiency. They were able to get some of these passing plays out in open space. They're really banking for the perimeter to render some of these chances for themselves instead of building upon it. Anonymous gets to boost the ball and an opportunity, but it's turned away by Miami Red.
And now the Red Storm still not letting up on offense as J-Spiel tried to make something happen, but Anonymous is going to be guarding the midfield, is able to hit this one up high, and now Miami Red taking control as they will win the 50 over Captain Clutch. And now J-Spiel off the back wall will not have anyone to pass it to. Captain Clutch is going to take a huge chunk out of John K and send them back to the scrapyard.
You know, we haven't seen John K in a while. Seen a lot of Deduck and Legal, but John K's kind of gone quiet. To be able to see him at least getting back into this rotation, and sometimes it's all of the workhorse that's actually making those better touches to enable his team. It doesn't really get all of that, that lauding and praise. Jay Spiel is in an awkward position. He'll be able to get this, but it's Legal that slams it on home. John K will be leaping late as Deduck will come back all the way to the midfield line operator, but you approach the first 100 seconds of play. You still have the 1-goal lead for the Red Storm, and Red Hawks haven't gone away to roost. They're still trying to be able to deplete this team of boost.
Is honestly right now the only problem on the side of Miami Red is that they are trying to get the offense done. They're pushing up, but the only problem is that whenever they push up just a little bit too far, it could be even a slight margin of error, and then the Red Storm just pick up on it, and they take that one opportunity and turn it into a goal just like this off the pass from Anonymous. And again, we see Miami Red trying to push up and trying to get the touch, but they make a mistake. The small margin of error cost them dearly off of that whiff, and just like that, the Red Storm now go up 2-0 in game number 3.
What an awkward backward boost leap by Legal. I mean, John K couldn't make that connection at the top line. Legal couldn't find an open space, and that then isolated Deduck, and man, that was a punishing factor. And Red Storm are going to hunt those down and score upon them every single time, especially with the efficiency they have found in Jay Spiel. Deduck with a great challenge. Can he find a double? Not soon enough, as Anonymous have it stolen. That one's a slap by John K. Say his name right, get some respect on it, but you got to get a few of those scores on the board as well. We're beyond halftime of game number 3.
That we are, and right now we are seeing just an absolute amount of control at the midfield coming from the Red Storm, and like we saw earlier where Miami Red was really in control of the boost, now it's really in the favor of the Red Storm as they are able to nearly boost off Miami Red entirely, but finally we see some offensive pressure coming from Miami, although not long-lived. The counterattack is already underway for the Red Storm.
Ooh, better win. Legal will find the graveyard and have to be on the respawn. That's a miss, and that's a turn in. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The Duck found a breadcrumb, and he feasted.
I mean, this is what the Red Storm have been doing to Miami Red all game. You get that one small margin of error, that one whoopsie mistake, the goofy goobery, the pish posh, poppycock, poo diggery, and good old-fashioned hogwash, and then, of course, the other team is going to take advantage, and that's what happened. So they gave a free one away, I guess, to Miami Red, and they're going to capitalize it 10 times out of 10.
Oof, and another. Man, say all that same thing you did again, but put it on a t-shirt just so we can like flash it on the screen, because this is a would-be take cannot be found by Anonymous, and Duck is just waiting again to pick up these breadcrumbs where they lay on the street and turn it into a whole bread loaf, and all of a sudden, what was a 2-0 lead has disappeared into a tied game.
And here we go, Legal now getting the touch over to Jay Spiel with the 50 literally screaming over to the other side of the pitch. Captain Clutch get the touch, following it up out the corner as the Duck will put this one back towards the mid, and now G-Spale is going to be trying to take a turn as John K puts this one down and towards the side, has the opportunity to get a touch, but the whiff will come through instead as Legal, now operating from out the corner, will not be able to get past the opposition as the Duck gets an awkward pinch to send this one back towards their own half.
It was a good pinch, but you know, if this were hockey, you kind of iced it around the wrong way. So we'll go around the boards, and the ward will be a counterplay now for the likes of the Red Storm that will commit. The Duck will overrun Legal, looking for a 50-50. Doesn't happen. That gives an opportunity over to Anonymous to maybe either play to the backboard or otherwise. Good positioning on the defense. Jay Spiel is one extra touch by Captain Clutch. Can they make the most of it? They leave it in the offensive half, but they're still looking for that leading goal to come back to them.
Absolutely. With just 40 seconds to go, this has the makings of what could be an overtime match, but not if Miami Red can find to the back of the net. They gonna go over towards the wayside now as the Duck tries to get the follow-up touch, but is denied, and the ball will find its way back towards the midfield as Legal will get the 50 and send this one back into Red Storm territory. That is a huge demo, but the block will come through, and the save from J-Spiel will definitely save the game for the Red Storm.
It cannot be understated the value that Jay Spiel has. He realized, oh no, my teammate is gone and I must get there, and he has been able to react and recover for his team. Legal will boom this one away. John K is trying to give it over, but Anonymous was there to make sure no one would be able to field it. We're in OT. Remember, this is a best of 7. Match point is not even here, but these two teams are going at it like every single game is championship point.
Well, let's see who's going to be able to take the first game of overtime as Jay Spiel is going to come out of the corner to flick this one all the way back down to Miami territory as Anonymous is there and waiting at the midfield. The back pass coming through for Miami finds John K. Legal. Gets the 50-50 off of Jay Spiel, but not much doing so far coming from the offense of the Red Storm as they are struggling to get through Miami's defense.
First half minute. Another great challenge. This could open things up. John K there to hunt down if anything would fall off. The Duck is looking for a hat trick. Be able to give his team some success and get right back onto the top of this series if they can. John K has plenty of boost. He's not going to use too much of it. He's going to make sure he's there for the defensive rotation, and they're looking from the side in the point of view of Jay Spiel, tip of the spear of that attack. If anything would come up, Rio Grande, retract, recoup, recover, the Duck. Oh, he will be dunked on.
Absolutely. Got to give credit to the defenses of both these teams. They've been doing a really great job of deflecting every single 50-50, every single shot. And now the touch from Anonymous will get redirected off the ceiling and into the back of the net. The Red Storm will win their first OT and get on the board.
I wonder if Anonymous and Magars know each other because they're both a mystery until they strike, and all of a sudden it's in the most clutch moment necessary. Rio Grande, the Red Storm, able to take 2 in a row, and game number 4 will approach with them on top. This was a return to form for both teams, honestly, for the side of the Redhawks of Miami Red, but it was in that moment. We've now seen an OT that has fallen, and it goes over to the Red Storm. Do we see that consistency from them? They've taken 2 games in a row.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. And even we're going to draw back all the way to game number 1. They were still pretty consistent. Granted, it was a one-sided venture, but you could still see their rotations were there and the opportunities were there. It just came down to a game of errors. Both teams are really making errors in that last matchup, and that's where the capitalization was coming in. Like Miami Red capitalized on the mistakes that came from the Red Storm and vice versa. So towards the end, it really is going to be who is the most consistent, who makes the least amount of mistakes, because other than that, I really don't see too much of a big difference maker between these two teams. They're pretty evenly matched for the most part.
Yeah, this is less about playmaking and more about punishing plays that weren't made. We got to see the Redhawks. They got 2 goals. Sure. We went to OT. Sure. But didn't really draw those up as much as they just took what Rio Grande really delivered to them. So they put it into the net, and then Rio Grande's like, okay, all right, let's step this up. Let's go and get the plays, and actually, let's put these strikes on target. Now, I'm saying that from a not as high a level of rank as these guys. Open nets are tough. So Miami Red putting those through is a good venture. Got to see if they'll be able to put some through with some honest stratagem behind it here in game number 4 with Rio Grande up on top 2-1.
Yeah, and the reason that open nets are so important, they're the equivalent of free throws in basketball. If you miss a free throw, coach is going to make you shoot 100 until you make 100. Those are literally gimme goals that you cannot afford to give away. So when it comes to open nets in Rocket League, I have the same attitude, but John K is going to keep the Miami Red attitude and put this one on and in right past 2 defenders and the sidebar, putting Miami Red up 1-0 with only 30 seconds gone.
Legal jousting and challenging in the midfield is just perfection for Miami. They have done such good whenever he's able to disrupt and discount, especially the #1 striker that we've seen right now out of the Red Storm. John K is a one-on-one. He's going to try and go big. That's a putback, and oh my goodness, the duck. What a great follow-up. It's suddenly a 2-0 game.
And honestly, I think this is what John K was going for the whole time, lining up the shot. If they could get it, great, but if not, they knew they had a player there and waiting to get the rebound and put that one on in. Now, Miami Red has an insurance goal over the Red Storm.
45 seconds gone from the clock. And we were asking and wondering, can Miami be able to get back to it? But so is the Batman himself, Jay Spiel, that hero from the shadows that comes in and cuts this lead in half. Oh, what a blitzkrieg we've seen here in this first minute of play.
Yeah, that was honestly just a speedy pass coming out the corner from Anonymous, being able to cause a redirect that was too quick for the defense to react to, and just like that, they cut the lead of Miami in half.
Oh, will this be another putback shot? It's a little bit high and wide. John K will have to react, try and set something up over to Duck. He's going to stay into that flag post corner, waiting on a clearance, but that also allows Miami to be able to make these rotations safe, secure, get some extra boost, go back to work. Captain Clutch is winning high side 50s, but he has no boost, and so to be seen the said of the majority of the Red Storm, they are going to be bled dry if they can't get out of their own half. Got to look to those corners, but you got to be looking where they're cooking. Legal comes over top and extends this lead again.
This was just an absolute high-speed touch coming off of the backboard, and honestly, kudos to Anonymous for trying to get up there and put a stop to it, because if they hadn't got that touch, it would have hit the waterfall, and it would have been even a more dangerous shot for Miami to take, but inevitably, Anonymous was not able to get the clear, and Miami Red just put that one on and in, and now, once again, have a 2-goal cushion over the Red Storm.
No, you're saying it before. We have a lot of kind of one-sided ventures. Who's just kind of hot at the moment, hot at the time, and we had that one OT that has now given the lead over to Rio Grande. But you know, it's another one of these where if you can get an offensive just display, just a clinic being put on by the Redhawks, they could be able to easily get this back into a 2-2 series. But You know, all of 2 minutes have come off the clock, and when you have a lot of fast goals, you start to kind of, get just a little bit off kilter. Like, oh, how much time do we still have in this game? There's still a lot of game to play.
Oh, absolutely. We haven't even reached halftime yet, and it's only a 2-goal deficit. You know, we're talking about the Red Storm being in striking distance and being able to do a lot of work in a little amount of time already. Anonymous goes duck hunting to get the demo on the duck, and now look at Captain Clutch getting in on it as they will get the demolition on John K. And I gotta say, the fireworks are popping off on the side of the Red Storm.
A bit of a Michael Bay style camera. Oh my goodness, and Jay Spiel will be able to take it, but it was Anonymous that deletes the duck from the pitch. And beyond now that halfway mark, they are rolling heads and rolling right along to try and get back into this game.
Oh, absolutely. The Demolition Derby is well underway on the side of the Red Storm, but now the question to Miami is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to fight fire with fire? Are you going to jump and get out of the way? But still, you cannot allow all these aggressions go unanswered. Miami is going to have to step up if they want to hold on to this lead.
Yeah, fire with fire, sometimes it's all about how quick you are, but instead of fighting fire, how about you fight higher? Get some elevation going, get this one airborne, and make it tougher for you to get laid out. Oh, what a save by Illegal as Jay Spiel ended up having the math and angles to support and have that advantage. John K. right behind this ball. Sub 2 minutes of play remaining. Anonymous be able to get the bump and the ball. No, he loses for Jay Spiel, but in an awkward rotation because Anonymous did chase after it instead of leaving it to the zone. Legal over to Captain Clutch. He make a second connection. No, has enough boost to be able to get back to it. He has that full canister, and now this should be a counter clear, but it's found immediately by Duck. Has to come off his back wall. Oh no, and a big save!
And now the counter-attack! Oh my word, from all the way downtown! What was once a Red Storm net has become a Miami Red goal in the blink of an eye.
Oh my goodness. I didn't expect that. I thought, okay, this is gonna go back to the corner. We have some zone play. We're gonna have another one, but no, just right place, right time, right read. Oh my goodness. That's what Redhawks needed to be able to double up this lead one more time. That's a kick that goes all the way to the back wall. Will they have a dive? Yes, they do, but this third man rotation keeps everything cool, calm, and kosher for the Redhawks.
And now it is up to the Red Storm to try and equalize. They're going to have to get 2 goals in just over a minute left to go. And this one will go down and in for Jay Spiel once again. The Red Storm is back within 1.
Never forget about Jay Spiel. He will make sure to put something on target, and you have to read it in a flash. What a flash of brilliance. He immediately elevates, puts a strike on target, and Duck just couldn't get down. He thought it would maybe go a little bit higher, but what a low side kick to get this one. And so we're within 1 with less than 1, and this could be 2-2 or 3-1, depending on how we may approach OT.
Here we go, the final 45 seconds on the clock. Will Miami Red be able to hold on to this lead, or will the Red Storm be able to equalize? Here we go. It is the up and over coming from the Duck as Anonymous will take control, putting this one over towards Captain Clutch. And now John K with the clear all the way downfield, and the follow-up going off the crossbar. No good there. The Duck is this one with the back flip. And now gets cleared out by Captain Clutch. That is a huge demo and open that opportunity for the Red Storm. And the demo meta rings true again as the Red Storm ties us back up 4-4.
Anonymous is the unsung hero of Rio Grande. Twice, at least, in this game, they've been able to open up that goal line by just saying, you know what, I will be selfless and I will put a shoulder into your chest and activate that demolition fest. But it is Redhawks that have been also able to do the same. Oh, Jay Spiel, awkward, another strike is deflected. Big save. 4 seconds coming up. It's 4-4. Will we have one more score? John K with the putback. It goes to the top shelf. Will they get one more? It's elevated. They can't keep it up in time. But we get overtime. This one could have match point implications.
It most certainly could, and keep in mind, the first time these two teams met in OT, it went in the way of the Red Storm, but now Miami Red trying to end this one early as they are coming out already with all types of offense and a whole lot of aggression, but the defense from the Red Storm will hold true.
Oh, man. Another striker coming in. Captain Clutch has not been able make better touches. It's more been about Anonymous and Jay Spiel. That wombo combo has been great, but it's now Jay Spiel being aired out. Anonymous, he actually airs it out for John K. That's a bit of bullying going on. It'll be a save. Captain Clutch. I nearly forget his name, but I'm not going to forget the fame that he's been able to put to it. Anonymous already hunting for another head to roll. First 40 seconds and more have been played out here in OT.
Yeah, now J-Spiel coming out of the corner, an awkward touch, nearly an awkward goal, but Anonymous, like you said, the unsung hero is there to get the save and to clear it away. And now, yet again, Miami looking to find the backboard, gets the touch with the follow-up, but it's no good. The aggression coming from Miami is nothing short of impressive, but none the more than the shot from John K off of that read. And just like that, Miami will take game number 4 in overtime.
Oh boy, this one has the makings of going the distance in best of 7 grand final fashion. We get a couple of OTs, and for the first time today, they will be split between these two teams. Miami coming up huge, and they had that approach. It didn't work the first time. They kept with it. They kept the rotation circling. Captain Clutch maybe was all of a few inches off of being able to get that one. It leaped over, and John K, he's having a day of it.
Oh, absolutely. And we got a lot of highlight reel plays to look through for sure. We have seen some clutch moments and some insane angles, but even though they lost on the side of the Red Storm, I got to say those demo plays were getting absolutely insane. They were getting some triple kills on the board, literally having open nets to follow through and put that one in. But I think after so many times, I think Miami finally started to recognize and adapt and were able to overcome the intense physical play coming from the Red Storm.
Anonymous was becoming a dire rat and was trying to be able to make use of that large power and extra bite force to be able to get extra chances. But no, it turned into just who could strike better, who could take better advantage of opportunities when they're given. Match point will go to the victor here on Beckwith Park. Whoever takes it, they'll have only one more game to go, but we've got at least 2 in the bag for you guys to be seen and show.
And here we go. We are very well underway here in game number 5 as Anonymous is going to slow things down at the midfield, gets the up and over on one, but can't get the other. The follow-up touch is denied by Captain Clutch. Now going off the backboard again, Captain Clutch has a read, but can't get past the defense. The follow-up from Jay Spiel is also denied, and the ball will find its way back into the Red Storm half.
Red Storm trying to play this a little cool and calm. Captain Clutch has a pass over to Anonymous. What a great sighting, though, by John K. Legal will be able to take away the secondary touch. Jay Spiel, though, it's been a lot of lofted passes. I like that they're airing it out from the side of Rio Grande. They're like, okay, you know, you were able to read our more physical approach about how we want to get rid of someone from the perimeter. Now let's start being able to do what you did before, maybe do it even better. Jay Spiel has no boost, so he's not going to be able to make a touch.
Yeah, that feels bad. But on the side of Jay Spiel, I understand why they still went for it, because even if you don't have boost, you gotta fake it till you make it. Who knows? Maybe even with no boost, you might be able to get it out there. Maybe it will line up. No matter what, boost or not, you have still got to make an attempt for the ball. And I have said it once, and I'll keep saying it. Ball always over boost.
Ball always. Unless, of course, maybe the ball is like other side of the pitch and you have time. Just like maybe like at 0.1% of the time. I'm talking to you, all my ranked teammates. Maybe. Anonymous goes over to the corner. This one dropped down. Jay Spiel a little bit too close, so he calls up Captain Clutch, who could be coming in clutch, as a demo will be found onto Legal. The turnaround found. And this one, after we had a bit of a shootout, 9 points put up in that game number 4. This one's very, very close. It's still looking for our icebreaker.
Still 0-0. One of the lower scoring games we've seen between these two teams. Keep in mind that we have seen some intense high scoring matches between these two. So the fact that we are approaching halftime and still sitting at 2 buttery bagels 0-0 on the board is a little bit surprising.
Oh, Jay Spiel. Oh, he will be bonked by John K, as he will steal that ball, and now a counterplay will come about. But this is kind of a weird walk in the park. You understand the implications of this game. A good pass just wasn't found, but not really good efficiency from either side and what they're doing with their possessions. So they both know a win here is match point. So we're kind of seeing a bit of playing safe and not playing as well as and aggressive as they had in prior.
It's because now both of these teams are showing a lot more respect. That's what's going on. No one wants to give away those opportunities. We talked about it even in the matches prior, where they were literally making these big mistakes or even sometimes small mistakes, and they would be capitalized on immediately. Now they don't want to make any, so they are playing abundantly cautious, but at the same time, I get it. I understand.
Nice little chip shot, Jay Spiel. Bring it over to the corner as another attempt. I like that legal is still, or actually, no, that was not legal. My apologies. Now it is legal. Oh, John K set him up. He knocks it down. Miami Red will finally be able to grab one. We have 1:46 remaining here in Game 5.
You know when you see a play build up and you know that's going in, and then you see it go in, and it's just like the perfect moment. It's just such a feel-good time for the side of Miami Red. That pass play was just too speedy for the Red Storm to keep up with, and now as the clock continues to tick away, Miami Red have a 1-goal lead over the Red Storm.
The offense has been able to strike from distance from Miami Red. They've been doing really good about that because that forces, all right, Rio Grande has to be able to answer for that from both a long and short, but looking for the double. That's a bubble. Oh, man, it goes through. Anonymous able to get it in, but I think this was originally set up. Anonymous forced the issue and then was able to get the component that worked, and it was Captain Clutch with a deflection off his tires.
I didn't even notice that at the first go-around. I thought it just was like a banger or a dunk that went in. I didn't even realize that went off of Anonymous's tires. That was absolutely insane. And honestly, calculated or no, I do believe it says in Rocket League Proverbs, line 32, verse 38, we take leads.
a well crafted and a glorified verse all the same. Everyone says that prior to the game and within the game itself. 60 seconds coming up. We have had a low-scoring venture. Seen a couple of 1-0s in previous series, and this one has included that. This one looking to maybe just be a difference of one. A putback, legal with a jumper. It's a bounce that will go over to Captain Clutch. The pickup is there to Duck, trying to keep it awesome on this side of the pitch. Jay Spiel's getting quick with it, though. 40 seconds remaining. That one skirts the side of the boards, and we go to the midfield line.
Approaching the last 30 seconds. This has the makings of a Game 5 overtime. But with that being said, Miami Red is still going to try to make an attempt to end this one in regulation. Anonymous is going to have to retreat to play a little defense. The pass will come out, but it is deflected. Back towards the mid it goes. Anonymous now has a little bit of momentum to work with. It will get stopped in the corner, but Jay Spiel will get the 50-50 to send this one to the other side of the pitch. Only 10 seconds to go. And now the missed touch coming from Miami could be costly, but the demo on Captain Clutch will buy them enough time, but it will not do them any good. And this last-second goal from Jay Spiel will all but solidify the win for the Red Storm.
Oh my goodness, legal. He got the first stop. But as soon as it was aired out, he was basically a low-hanging fruit. As that one was descending, he couldn't readjust and have all the boost. Do we keep this up in 0-second time? We do. It finds the wall. Holy cow, didn't realize there was a chance. Oh, but it will actually touch grass. We pass over into Game 6 with the Red Storm up on match point, prime to maybe take the championship.
Once again, we just saw a little bit too many errors coming out the side of Miami. They had some unfortunate whiffs, some unfortunate misses, but we didn't see that on the side of the Red Storm. They saw the opportunity and they took advantage. If you leave that net and you leave the opportunity open for the Red Storm, they will make sure not to have any tactical whiffs. They're going to make sure that they put that one on and in, and they did just that. Making the most out of every opportunity is definitely what gave them that win in game number 5, and now they got a little bit of an edge, and they have a nice new wave of momentum to ride into the next round.
I do wonder what kind of play we're going to get out of both these teams, because you have one team that could play safer out of the side of Rio Grande with that Red Storm. They have a couple lives, but there's only one life left for the Red Hawks. Do they play faster? Do they play with more breakneck speed? I want to see how that does evolve. This could be it, the possible penultimate game of this wonderful grand final for the Challengers Black Division. Miami Red Hawks, they got to get back into it, but the Red Storm are going to try and see if they can take control and take over and take it to the brink.
And here we go. This is it. Game number 6 in match point on the side of the Red Storm. If they can win this one out, they will be your champions. But Miami has something to say about it, as they are going to get on the board first.
Oh man, they've been saying in the chat, John K all day, good deflection, good read, good win, and everyone is gone. Take advantage of the home when no one's at home, and they'll be able to get this first strike short of the first 30 seconds of play.
And just like that, honestly, Miami Red desperately needed to get that first goal because now they have set the tone for the entire match. I know that everyone knows in the Rocket League community, the first goal doesn't determine the win, but it does give you a nice wave of momentum, and it sets the tone for the rest of the match. And Miami Red nearly getting another one on the board, but just barely missing off of both sidebars.
You know what? I'm glad that the tone that has been set for Miami is that we will take strikes. We are hitting the perimeter in our last 3, but we're going to force the Red Storm to have to answer to them regardless. We've been talking about respect before and how close everything was. Well, Red Hawks, they are going to go with that sense of respect. Your defense better answer our offense because it is flying high and flying forward. They only have 1 goal so far. That doesn't mean they're not going to be back on this next approach.
Absolutely. Miami Red are taking many shots, putting them all near on target, but not finding the back of the net. And you know what we call that, Monkey Man? We call that butter in the biscuit. It's all prep work, but unfortunately no substance. They're able to hit the sidebar, they're able to hit the crossbar, they can hit the goalies like Captain Clutch, but they couldn't find the back of the net. So now they are still just going to have to sit and be satisfied with this 1-0 lead as their defense continues to hold strong.
We've already seen a return to strategy for the likes of Rio Grande. They're able to utilize those demo plays, that physicality to open things up. Then they take shots. Big power flick. Oh, he dinks around 2 and finished off by Captain Clutch.
Absolutely. Just then, they really caught Miami at the wrong place at the wrong time because both of the defenders were trying to get boost. They were boostless and useless. They couldn't really do much. And in that rotation of trying to get boost, they put themselves out of position, which led to that perfect flick coming from the Red Storm and the pass play, which led to this 1-1 tie ball game.
John K. And have midfield boost, but he will not have control. Anonymous over to Captain Clutch, and they're looking to get that 1-2 combo work, and it goes back to the corner, and Jay Spiel, and make sure there's no open net. He will take control, allow his teammates a lot of extra time to recoup and recover and replay. John K gets dunked by Jay Spiel. Oh, that one could go over top, and Anonymous has to make this read. The putback shot. Oh, what an angle. Good placement. And that's going to be another lead for Miami.
And this was just high-pace, high-speed Rocket League. An absolute banger going off of the backboard. And then the follow-up from John K all day is going to put that one on and in, and just a little bit too fast for the defense to react.
Go in. Midpoint. Game number 6. We have yet to have a Game 7 today in these best of 7s. This one has the makings of possibly giving us every single bit of it. Elevating up, John K will slap that down. It's Anonymous as an option. And Jay Spiel can't quite find a connection to it. Jay Spiel, even with no boost, will play contender to defend. He just goes sideways trying to become bigger. That's a great idea, especially whenever your teammates are looking to get back to corners and back to a defensive posture. Captain Clutch with a posture to give it over to Anonymous. Oh, the 1-2! Sneaking it in. We're tied at 2.
Oh, yeah, that's how it's done right there. When you need to know how to execute a fast break pass play, just clip that shot and then go back and study it. That was perfect from start to finish, from one side of the field to the next. And again, using that overwhelming speed to find the back of the net to where the goalies and the defense couldn't react, but Legal getting this one off of the sidebar. Monkey Man, I think the team from the Red Storm was just pushed up a little too far on that one.
Yeah, Legal was able to write something into a contract, and maybe that was a little bit of illegal insider trading because everyone was inside of that zone a little bit too close, and he was able to take advantage of it. So one goal, a good goal deters to another, and we're able to get a lead back to Miami Red. Less than 2 minutes to go. Remember, we're on the precipice of maybe having a game number 7. Consistency is key, and so are the punishments when you're not.
Go. Anonymous now going to be putting this one up to Jay Spiel, but it gets blocked and deflected, and now the redirect from John K will leave this one over to the Duck, but the clear will send this one all the way back to Miami as Legal now taking control will get deflected by Anonymous, and the follow-up touch coming with the cherry pick on top, but not on target. This goes down to the wayside.
Ooh, that was a chance. That would have been a fancy redirect clip. Be able to put on your highlight reel, put that on a resume. People will be able to hire you in an instant. Minute 15. Focus must come. Do we see Rio Grande or Rio Grande, whatever, to be able to get some better striking? Do we get the Red Hawks that will just keep them encaged? 105 left. They want game 7. I want a game 7, but does the Red Storm be able to tell us otherwise?
I am not sure. Almost too close to call. Under a minute to go. And Miami still on the attack non-stop. They have the follow-up touch that goes off their crossbar. But Anonymous is there to collect and send this one back towards the mid. A nice cross touch, but a little bit too much sauce on that. That was a little bit hard to read.
Oh, Anonymous. Oh, he almost gets 8-ball corner pocket. That's not going to happen. Do not deplete your defense if you're Miami. Got to keep calm, keep strong. That's a great dish, but Anonymous is there. Legal, trapping in the corner. Goes right back to the front side post, and Anonymous has to be an option. He's looking for heads to roll. Look at all that rotation to see if he can get a bump, but nothing doing. They're playing 1 up, 2 back. Duck trying for the dunk. It's a fake out. No touch to be had. Anonymous will air it out. One final possession for Rio Grande. 5 seconds left. They go sky high. Can they tie it up in regulation? Captain Clutch is a strike. Oh, and it's a save. John K saves the day. We will go the distance to game 7.
Honestly, this is it. This is what we've all been waiting for, and this is what it's all come down to. And honestly, I should have made the prediction when I first thought of it, when it first popped into my head, the light bulb went off when we first had the second game of this series. You said yourself, this is the first time we're not seeing a 2-0. It's even at 1 apiece, and I even thought to myself, this has the makings of a best of 7, and sure enough, it does and is. We are going to game number 7, and this is it. This is for all the marbles. Whoever takes this next game takes it all.
Oh man, it's about who can be the most clutch. Captain Clutch, he had that clutch hero moment, but it has been defense that's been able to win out if Miami has been able to do anything more. They've been able to go downfield and score, but just denying where that attack can come from Rio Grande. Oh man, this is great. I love that we're heading to Champions Field the first time today. Look at the banners, look at the schools, look at the teams that have won before, and now look at who's out on the pitch. One of these teams is going to be your grand finalist champion here in the Challengers Black Division.
And here we go. Already we're seeing a great deal of midfield passing, and the last touch could not get the ball out. That will be in, and the first goal of game number 7 in favor of the Red Storm.
Oh man, poor Legal. He was unable to get enough of that lean back, but that was a great shot. Jay Spiel, he just has to force the defense to choose. And when your nose is already looking towards your own net, you're in the you're in the worst position possible to correctly defend. Huge flick, top shelf, and down. Anonymous, he is found.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over the side of Miami, but they just cannot react to the speed that is coming out from the Red Storm. 2 goals now in their favor, and only 26 seconds are gone off the clock.
This is when you need your in-game leader. You need your player that is there, that is your calming voice to say, guys, we got to get back to work. And John K, he has been consistent all day. He says, you know what? We got one back. Let's get back to work.
This is going to be insane. There's 3 goals scored, only 32 seconds off the clock, and we have 3 goals on the board. I honestly think this is going to be a very high-scoring game if this is going to be the pace of what we are dealing with here in game number 7. And Miami, once again, are on the back foot and are having to struggle to get out of their half.
This is when everyone and everything, they're sweating, they're confused, they're just trying to be able to get back into this rotation. You have to take everything you've been coached, all the plays you've ever made, and you have to turn it into a great surplus of success. Double commits cannot happen. Cleanliness of this play so far out of Miami has been a little suspect. That's a shot on target, but that's John K coming up large. He's looking for an opportunity to give that one over. I think it was to Legal. Legal making this one. Oh, actually, he fakes it out. Anonymous, he has become such a big factor for the side of Rio Grande since game 1 to now.
Yeah, Anonymous, again, like you were saying earlier, definitely that unsung hero, definitely the hustler. They are putting in the work. They are putting in the grind with those struggle points there, being able to get the touches when needed, being able to get those clears, and of course the bumps and demos that come out from Anonymous is doing a lot of the legwork on the side of the Red Storm.
And Jay Spiel, no big deal that he's got no boost. Oh, looking for the backflip. John K, he's got an extra option in his back pocket in Legal. Well, Legal will not be able to find it beyond that second layer defender, John K. That's a shot. It'll be a little bit wide and off kilter. Oops, bit of a oopsie daisy as we will bump each other team play. Legal, he has to call for reinforcements. A nice save by John K. 2 minutes now off the clock. Redhawks a little bit behind. Red Storm trying to be able to make sure that they build upon this lead, but it has been tough sailing from this now second minute. Oh, they find it! Jay Spiel with a third.
Who else but Jay Spiel? You know it's coming, and it can't be stopped. Jay Spiel getting the initial touch and has so much boost to work with that they can get the second and put that one on and in. And now a 2-goal cushion for the Red Storm here in game number 7.
Can't stop coming, and he won't stop coming. You better just hear him as he's a drum running. Oh, John K over to the top shelf. Let's see if we can turn this into a counterplay. Legal chasing after it, approaching the midpoint now of this game 7 championship point. There is no other game to be played. You must win here and now. 2:30 will be coming up. Miami, they have the forward press, but they have to do the rest. This one will come to the top 90. Oh, it's a misplay, but the defense is there. The putback. It's another stop, and they get it through. The Duck will be able to get this one back to 2.
Oh my goodness, Miami needed that shot. They needed that goal, and still the Red Storm nearly kept it out of their net, and now it is 3-2 with 2:22 left on the clock. Miami is back within 1.
This is a bar fight. Everyone is woozy. Everyone is trying to just make it through the day, make it through the night. This is one heck of a fight. John K, he will be deleted, but the defense will stand strong for Rio Grande. The Duck leaves it to John K all day, baby. Anonymous, he's got the dish. He lays it up as an option. I think that was for Captain Clutch. Oh, it's a bit of a miss. This is an open zone. Everyone has to rotate back for Miami. 150, less than 2. That's a shot. You gotta get that, but you don't, because Jay Spiel puts it over your head.
I kind of saw it. Like, I knew this was going to go in. We're looking out of the corner, and I see, who's that in the corner? That's Jay Spiel. And I'm thinking to myself, Jay Spiel makes those.
Yep. He's never not. Just kind of like 100%. The man, the myth, the legend of Jay Spiel has just been so much in cruise control mode, and he knows how to just bring the heat when he has to. A nice doink by Duck. As the Redhawks again are on a doubled up deficit against the Red Storm, and Anonymous will try to play for control, and this is when you start to forward lean upon your opponent. Build upon your lead. Take them out, because they will not be able to recoup and recover in enough time. Less than 90 seconds to go, looking for a counterplay from Miami, and the strike is high.
They had an opportunity, and that was it. That would have been the opportune time to score, but unfortunately, Miami put a little bit too much spice on that one, and then the shot was inevitably not so nice. It went a little bit high, and now with only a minute, well, just over a minute left to go, all that the Red Storm have to do is just run the clock out. But what a shot coming from John K off of the pass from Duck.
Never sleep on Duck, because then his boy John K will put you to sleep. Oh man, a secondary strike. They knew that their rotation had to be right next to each other. They had no time but the present to be able to put that through. We are now at the 1 minute mark. Down one of the Redhawks. They need one to just force OT, but oh no, they can't lay it into the box. They bait up Jay Spiel. Duck, he's trying to be able to get a flick. It's followed up by John K. It ramps off the back of Duck. John K is now available. Actually, that was over there with Legal. Legal looking for a big 50, and now you're going to see time and clock control coming in. No one there to strike. It's grounded and then high. They'll take away the striker.
My goodness, I'm almost at a loss for words of how close that was. I'm seeing the setups, I see the waterfalls that are coming through, and now it's all about striking. They have opportunities, but the defense coming from the Red Storm just continues to hold on, and I honestly think that Miami just needs to come through with a bump or a play, something to disrupt the defense, because right now the defense coming from the Red Storm is just too strong, as the follow-up touch will come through. Only 5 seconds left to go on the clock, and Anonymous is going to hit this one off the back. Now John K with the pitch to send this one down and into the ground, and there you have it. Your grand final champions is the Red Storm.
Oh man, it was Miami that forced game 7, but they just couldn't be able to get one extra chance. Every single goal was a grinder, and it was tough to be able to get one for the finality. But you go into that last minute of play, and it was great kill shot opportunities for Rio Grande. The Red Storm took control. They finished the game, they finished the match, and they finished grand finalist champions here in the Challengers Black Division. Captain Atsoka, I'm glad we got to go to a game 7.
Oh, 100%. Without a doubt, the best game so far of today, and one tough act to follow. I don't know if we're going to see another game quite as good as that one. But with that being said, you know what else is good that's coming our way? An interview with one of the players that was down on the field of our only best of 7 here today. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everyone, to the NECC. You've witnessed yet another wonderful grand final. This time, it went the distance for our best of 7. I'm Hell Monkeyman in the booth alongside Captain Utsoka, but you don't need to worry about us right now. We've been here all day, and one big player that's coming in is, of course, the big man of the hour from that which he will tower. It is Jay Spiel from Rio Grande. Jay Spiel, congratulations, 4-3 grand final championship win. Oh my goodness, how are you and your team feeling?
We're feeling pretty great right now. A lot of hard work went into it, and just glad to get the win at the end of the day. The other team was great too, so it was good games all around.
Yeah, big games. I mean, let's talk about this. Maybe not game by game, but at least from the beginning to the end. There was you guys start off a little bit slow. You're able to kind of respond and recoup and recover, but like where was the bounce back? Where was this kind of maybe loss of consistency a couple different times, and how did you recover into those better games?
Realistically, we came out slow the first game. Weren't really like, I don't know. I guess we just weren't in it. And that loss set the tone, realistically. And then after every goal that we got scored on, it was just, all right, guys, let's reset. Go back to it's 0-0. We just got to play the game how we play the game, and we'll be good. And it ended up we were good. It worked out for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was 100% good for your side. Another question that I had in mind that I've been dying to ask is that I couldn't help but notice that y'all are kind of thrifties on the demos. Y'all were headhunting the Miami team so many times. Are y'all just a demo heavy team, or y'all just got to the breaking point and said, you know what, we need to break out the demos?
We are a pretty demo heavy team. We try not to chase them too much. It's just, if somebody shoots the ball or something, I mean, we're looking for a kill on the way out almost every single time. I mean, we're looking to disrupt the play, and I think we did pretty well with that tonight.
Yeah, not a mouse. He took up that mantle of responsibility. He was deleting people at the post, and we got to see you guys put in a lot. But seeing you play a little bit more often than just here, but also seeing you be able to strike a whole lot. That seemed to be kind of where you really took up that. First off, why the awesome? I say awesome, but why the bat? Explosion for just aesthetics. And why?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know. It was I bought the bundle a while back, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. I'm a fan of Batman, so I've thrown it on, and it hasn't changed since then. So I'm not really sure why. I've been told in ranked games that it scares people when it goes off. So
yeah, it's like a trumpet sound.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, Jay Spiel scored. Yeah, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I get told it's pretty loud quite often, but I guess that's part of why it stays. So.
All right, now I gotta ask, of course, this being the only best of 7 that we have had so far today, did you honestly think that going into this against Miami that they were going to put up such an intense fight?
Yeah, we knew coming in that they were a pretty good team. I mean, they beat UAH, who was undefeated the whole season, so we had a pretty good idea that they were gonna play pretty well. So, I mean, we had an idea coming in. We were watching their replays and stuff on how they beat UAH, so we kind of had an idea. But other than that, we just came in, tried to play our game.
You absolutely did. And he came in Captain Clutch with a not a mouse, and of course yourself, Jay Spiel. Congratulations, a big grand finalist championship win here in the Challengers Black Division. And of course, do you guys have it, or you yourself have anyone that you want to shout out, showcase, a bit of fan, bit of club, maybe even a bit of the threads? We've seen some great jerseys today.
So I do wanna thank my coach, Zay. He's couldn't have really done it without him, to be honest. Just always, no matter what the situation is in the games, post game, in between, just always keeping us motivated and ready to go. And then our jerseys are pretty nice. You can find them out on our website. I don't know how we can get a link into there, but yeah.
Oh man.
Other than that.
You guys had a fantastic run. It was a great Game 7. You guys were able to take it to the Red Hawks, and congrats to them to going as far as they did. But it was the Red Storm that takes the day. Congratulations. Enjoy it, man. And I'll see you in other competitions.
Hopefully pretty soon.
Yeah, true. Oh, man. All right, Captain Ahsoka. It's been a wonderful time being able to cast with you today, but I had my 3, I had my fun, and I will sadly have to exit, but it was a wonderful time here in the booth with you.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, I was gonna make a tweet about this later because you know me, I got Twitter fingers. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it now live on cast. It is such a great time casting with you, and I can honestly say that every time you and I get into the booth together, I come out a better caster every single time. So thank you for being here, and it is much appreciated.
Well, you know what? That fills my heart. As much as the food next to me, these chimichangas my wife just gave to me will fill my stomach. So we're gonna take a bit of a break. It's been fun having me on the booth with Captain Ahsoka. You guys get to have a whole bunch of him more, as he's gonna be able to give you all the scores and more for more of these brawls going down. NECC Championship Sunday will return right after this.